Live from the Tucson Arena, this is University of Arizona Hockey. It's time to drop the puck with Timothy Gasson, the voice of the Wildcats. So let's head to the action with Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Welcome to the Tucson Arena, where the number 6 Arizona Wildcats are going to take on the number 25 Sun Devils of Arizona State. Hi, everybody. I'm Timothy Gasson. I'll be bringing you tonight's action along with my broadcast partner, Jackson Peters. And Jackson, last night was a mammoth victory for the Arizona Wildcats. They won 3-0 over Arizona State, but all the marbles are up for grab here tonight. It's the last game of the semester. This is the biggest game of the season so far for both Arizona State and the UofA Wildcats.
Yeah, this is huge for the rest of the season for both teams. A lot of times this game is just about the rivalry, but tonight there's a lot at stake for both teams. For Arizona State, if they're unable to get a win here tonight, that puts a lot of hurt on them as they look to make another push for the national tournament. And if they aren't able to get a win tonight, that could really set them too far out of a playoff spot. And if we look at the University of Arizona, if they're able to get another win here tonight, they'll go into winter break with a tie for first place against the University of Central Oklahoma in the WCHL standings.
So Arizona State enters tonight's contest at just 7-16, but ranked number 25 in the country because the ACHA computer rankings take the strength of schedule so seriously, and it cannot hurt actually ASU to play a number 6 team like Arizona. But at some point you have to start to win those games if you're going to qualify for the national tournament. I don't know if we want to count ASU out if they don't win this game, but it's almost a must-win for Arizona State for their national tournament hopes for second semester. Yeah,
and whether, it turns out being a must-win for them or not, you can expect them to come out and play like it is a must-win game. They have a lot at stake here tonight. They don't want another game like last night. They worked really hard last night, and we saw Tate Green's squad last night put in a lot of effort, outworking some Wildcats, especially on board play. So I can expect them to come out here with the same energy and a lot of frustration. They were unable to score last night, being shut out. But I expect them to put in a lot of the same energy and maybe put some new things in the mix.
Well, that frustration came from U of A goaltender Anthony Shuro. He stoned the Arizona State University Sun Devils again and again. It could have been a very different game, but Anthony Shuro certainly is one of the finest goaltenders in the American Collegiate Hockey Association, and he has some amazing statistics to back that up.
Yeah, last night was his second straight shutout of the season, and after that win last night, he has a 1.56 goals against average and a 9.45 save percentage, and that puts him at second in the league for save percentage and third in goals against average. So having one of the best goaltenders on your team in the league is a huge step for, what Coach Brown talks about, advancing this program to the elite level.
I'd be very surprised if Anthony Shuro doesn't get the start here tonight. Now, on ASU's side, Bronson Moore played well last night, gave up an early goal, and just didn't make the spectacular saves that you have to make when you're an underdog. I got to believe that he will get the go again tonight. Arizona enters tonight ranked number 6 and 15-3 on the season. As you said, this would be an exclamation mark for the Arizona Wildcats if they win tonight on what could be their most successful semester in a generation. They haven't been ranked this high in a generation. If my memory serves correctly, the last time they were in the top 4 was about 1997. They're ranked number 6 now. They win tonight. It's not inconceivable with the last ranking of the semester. They could be in that top 4 again.
Yeah, and that top 4 would be a huge thing for this program. We've talked about it all year long, how these players, this organization, Coach Berman, they want to make that jump from a good team where they're at now to that elite level of a team. They want to be able to be any team in this league, and being able to get into that top 5 would be a huge advancement for this program.
Okay, Jackson, winning last night's game doesn't win tonight's game. What does Arizona need to do tonight to win this game?
They need a much stronger start. They had a very fortunate start last night with that 20 seconds in, that goal from Trey Decker, but I don't think we can expect to see a 20 seconds in goal here tonight. I think the Cats need to have a lot more energy in the first period of this game and, just try to take control. We saw them have, really excellent board play, great breakouts in the second half of the game. But we need to see that for a full 60 minutes here tonight. They can't just flick on the switch, in the second half. They need to come out strong.
Okay, well, let's send it down to ice level for the starting lineups, the national anthem, and then we'll drop the puck between number 7 Arizona and number 25 Arizona State. You're watching University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Nets today for the Sun Devils, number 1, Bronson Moore. The head coach, Tate Green.
The head coach, Tate Green. The assistant coach, Cant. The goaltender, number 7, Arizona, Cant. The goaltender, number 25, Arizona State, 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 Cant. The goaltender, number 25, Arizona State
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome onto the ice your Arizona Wildcats. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the starting lineup for your Arizona Wildcats. Starting at left wing, number 6, Josh Larson. And right wing, number 23, Charlie James. At the center position for your Wildcats, number 12, Chris Westland. At left defense, number 24, Keelan Olnick. And right defense, number 20, Manny Rowe. And in the nets tonight for your Wildcats, wearing number 30, Anthony Churro. The head coach of your Wildcats is Chad Berman, assistant coaches Tuffy Hogan and Shane Fossell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats and face the south goal for our national anthem, which is sung by local community singer and member of the U of A alumni band, Becky Burnett.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And we are ready to rumble. It's number 6 Arizona and number 25 Arizona State. I'm Timothy Gasson. I'll be bringing you tonight's game along with my broadcast partner Jackson Peters. And Jackson, we talked about how winning last night's game doesn't win tonight's game. And you mentioned a little bit about what Arizona needs to do to come away with the victory here tonight. What does ASU need to do differently than what they did last night? Or is it they just need to do what they did a little more effectively and light the lamp?
Well, that's a surprising thing, Tim. If you're Coach Tate Green, I don't know what you tell your players, because I would expect more of the same here tonight. You know, they executed what I would assume is a lot of their systems perfectly. I mean, they had great board play, great breakouts. They're moving the puck so well, especially on their power play, which we got to see a little bit of tonight. So I would expect them to be doing a lot of the same and just kind of, almost hope that Anthony Shiro doesn't have such an excellent game as he did last night. But it's more the same, just try to not allow the U of A to, flick on that switch and get that energy.
Anthony Shiro in goal for Arizona. Star performer so far this year, 1.56 goals against. Bronson Moore in goal for ASU. Didn't have a bad game last night, but he took the loss. He's the only ASU goaltender this year, Jackson, with a win for the program. And he needs to come up big, especially early if Arizona turns on the energy. They did come out with a lot of energy in the first half of the game last night. Coach Berman wants the Cats to come out with a little more energy and sense of urgency right off the bat.
Yeah, he emphasized that, in the post-game conference last night. So I expect them to have a lot more energy. I'm sure that they should have a little more as we see a big hit there, which we didn't see until later in last night's game.
Chris Westland with a big hit right at center ice. As we're just underway here between Arizona and Arizona State, puck goes to the far side. That's John Studioso sending it up the boards. And the hitting already is picking up, and we now have a whistle. And a stoppage will have a face-off just outside the Arizona zone, or the Arizona State zone. Now they're going to bring it inside. Not quite sure what that stoppage was, Jackson, but we're just underway in the first minute of play between Arizona and Arizona State. Arizona has that big number one line out. That's Bailey Marshall in on the faceoff against Levi Holston for ASU. Cats win the draw, send it back behind the net. Right out into the slot, nice juicy puck there, but no Arizona stick to connect with it. Shiro stops it and sends it up the far side's board. And Anthony Cusinelli tipped it but didn't get it out. This was a problem for Arizona last night, Jackson, having the puck on their stick, in their zone, and giving up the puck.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes from this strong Arizona State forecheck. They get 2 or 3 guys on a cat, and that pressures them into making the quick decision, not necessarily the correct decision.
ASU getting some early pressure on here. This is the kind of start they wanted to have. They did not want to give up that early goal like they did last night. In the first minute of play, here comes back Arizona, 3-on-3. Puck just misses Ethan Stallhuth. Devin Langelar throws it back up and down into the ASU zone. Better flow of play so far in this first period than last night's game. There's no more feeling out period for these two teams, Jackson. They know each other well. They know what they need to do.
Yeah, they learned last night, what to expect from each team. But I think the Sun Devils, don't have the upper hand in that case because I expect a different Cats team right now. I expect a lot more energy. It won't be the same feeling out process because it should be a different team to see from the University of Arizona tonight.
Well, about halfway through the contest last night, Arizona really started to show their skill and speed. Coach Berman wants to see that from the get-go here tonight. We're just underway, 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the first period. We're scoreless between number 6 Arizona and Arizona State as the puck is given away right to the side of Shiro, but the Cats come away with it now. Cats to center ice. That's Manny Rowe, defenseman, rushing with the puck. Sends it right in the slot, but misses with Josh Larson. He's taken down, no call. Play continues on. Cats keep the puck in the zone. It's the shot that goes wide, and it's going to exit the zone. First bit of pressure there from Arizona, Jackson.
Yeah, and that all came from Manny Rowe's excellent take. They had the poor turnover, behind their net, but he was able to pick it up, and he broke it out of the zone himself. He saw there was no good pass option, so he skated out and led to a nice scoring chance.
Cats had another opportunity on the side of the net there, weren't able to connect, but Jake Dickinson keeps it in briefly, but now ASU breaks out. Well, or do they? No, they put the puck into the stands. That should be a delay of game. I didn't see that deflect off of any other player. Did you, Jackson?
I did not.
That should be a delay of game. On number 24, John Studioso. It's not going to be called, though. Wasn't seen. Boy, I swear that puck just went off of Studioso's stick into the stands.
Yeah, I think the Sun Devils are going to get off lucky without getting that call.
Yeah, ASU gets a break here early in this game. No call. We continue even-handed here. As the Cats throw it back in besides behind Bronson Moore. Both teams changed up their uniform selection for tonight. Arizona in their beautiful red uniforms. ASU in their white with Sparky on the front. Good intensity in this game so far. We're just underway. 3:45 into the first period. Chris Westland with the puck over the blue line. Chris Westland trying to cut in front. Chris Westland, oh, he throws it in front, but there isn't a cat there. And Langelaar touches it, and we have a whistle. We have a cross check. I'm not sure, I did not see it. Looks like this is going to be on Arizona, however.
And it looks like this might be one of those cases of behind the play. I'm not sure what happened, but since it wasn't near the puck, I'm gonna have to say that was a behind the play call, and those are the ones you need to stay away from in a game like this, Tim.
Jake Dickinson goes into the box with a cross check. Just 3:56 into the game. This is the early break that Arizona State needed.
Yeah, this is, almost the polar opposite of last night's game. Arizona State has a real good opportunity here to take a lead.
Jake Dickinson, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of that penalty, 3 minutes, 56 seconds in the first period.
Cat's able to get out of the zone with the puck. That's Bailey Marshall with it. But ASU recovers and comes back over the Arizona line. Backhander goes high and wide. Cat stick for it there, Bailey Marshall. Cat gets a stick on the puck and gets it out of the zone, and that's what has to happen on the penalty kill. If you get your stick on the puck, it's got to leave the zone.
Yeah, a lot of times last night we saw a Cat get the puck and then start looking for the pass or the best skating option. As soon as it touches your stick on a penalty kill, it's got to go 200 feet down the ice.
Big opportunity for Arizona State early in this game. They have a one-man advantage. Trying to set up in the Cats' end. And they do. The Manny Rowe dogging the puck carrier, but it comes to the center of the ice, right in the slot. No, just goes wide. Good opportunity. As the Devils pick it up and send it back to the blue line. Now down low to Holston. Has tried to dig it there. Are they able to? Are we going to get a whistle? Are they able to? No, the ASU comes away with it. Good play by the Sun Devils there. So there's a shot right into the breadbasket of Anthony Shuro, and he makes the great save. Anthony Shuro, so steady, so calm. That's got to have a calming influence on the players in front of you.
It does, but you don't want it to give your players too much confidence. Although Anthony Shuro is a great goalie, you can't rely on him every game. You don't want to be him to be the reason you win every game. You got to help him out. You got to clear pucks.
Anthony Shuro did bail out the Cats several times last night, and you're right. You can't depend on those kinds of miracle saves all the time. Eventually one is going to go in. That's what ASU wants right now. If they can get the first goal of this game, it can change the complexion of the night altogether. Just 17 seconds to go on the power play, however, for Arizona State. Good kills so far for the Cats. 7 seconds on the man advantage. The puck comes out to center ice. Nope. Goes into the Arizona bench. Should have a face-off. Well, they're going to move this inside the zone.
And one thing the Cats need to be careful of here is they're doing a lot of watching of the puck. They're not looking for open guys. There was one shot from the point that the Sun Devils were able to take because the Cats weren't aware of where everybody was. They were looking at the puck in the corner, and that's when it gets really dangerous. You have to be aware of who's on the ice and where they are.
Well, that's another thing the Cats can be prone to, not moving their feet, watching the puck a little bit. Puck does come out of the zone. The penalty is over. There will be no icing here, so we're back to even strength. Just 6 minutes into the first period, we're scoreless between Arizona and Arizona State. The longer it's scoreless, the better it is for underdog Arizona State. They want to hang around with Arizona. They don't want Arizona to use their speed. The puck eludes Justin Plumhoff there. He was about to use his speed. Fine skater for Arizona. So far, very evenly played between these two teams, Jackson.
Yeah, very evenly played, but this game can change so quickly, especially if Arizona State gets that first goal. If you let them hang around too long, they'll find a way.
ASU moves in with a dangerous backhander that goes behind the net, luckily for the Cats. Langelaar sends it behind the goal. There's some hitting on the near side boards. But ASU comes away with the puck. It's fine to find a body, but it's better to have the puck.
And that's one thing about these rivalry games. A lot of times guys are looking to make the big hit, not trying to make the smart stick-on-puck play.
There's a really unfortunate offside on ASU. So they were trying to take advantage of a little bit of a sloppy change, it looked like, from Arizona. Perhaps not sloppy, but not a very definitive quick change by Arizona there.
Yeah, and I think that's the same position that Arizona State got caught in. There were some guys who were looking to make the change, but just couldn't get off the ice fast enough and were caught offside.
12:47 to go in the first. We're scoreless between number 6 Arizona and number 25 Arizona State. This is the grudge match of all grudge matches. Arizona already with 3 victories against no defeats against ASU this year in pursuit of the Cactus Cup. They cannot win the Cactus Cup tonight, but the Cats come in. There's a shot that goes high and wide from Anthony Cusinelli. He had a great game last night. Cusinelli digs for it, whiffs. Cats are able to keep it in briefly and send it down low.
The Cats having much better offensive pressure here tonight compared to last night. They're able to keep the puck in the zone for more than just one shot.
This top line for Arizona, very effective, but ASU's able to dig that puck out. And now skate to center ice. We're 8 minutes in, scoreless. Intensity picking up. Here comes Manny Rowe with some ice. Great skater, Manny Rowe. He takes a shot. Nice stick save there by Bronson Moore. He knows he has to be the steadying force here for the Sun Devils here tonight.
Yeah, he's going to be extra careful not to let any of those bounces get back behind him. He'll pay a little bit of extra attention as he's hit there. He knows what he needs to do tonight.
This will be interesting to see what this is going to be called, because the goaltender was completely out of his crease. I think he interfered with Anthony Cusinelli. Are they going to call Anthony Cusinelli on an interference call here?
It looks like it.
I think that's the wrong call. The goaltender was completely out of his crease. He went after Cusinelli. He engaged in the contact.
Yeah, he was trying to protect the puck, and Cusinelli didn't go for the big hit on him, just kind of rubbed into him. And again, another fortunate break for Arizona State to get themselves the lead and totally change how this game has played here yesterday.
So ASU already with their second power play of the night. We're just 8.5 minutes into this game, Jackson, and that's when you're spending half your time on the penalty kill, that's going to tire you out.
Yeah, especially when you know the guys that you have, you usually only have 1 or 2 penalty killing lines, so it's the same guys rotating in and out. So if you want to have fresh legs later in this game, you got to stay out of the box. We always talk about it. You got to stay out.
Jaeger Larson now in for the faceoff for ASU, won by the Sun Devils.
Number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. 2 minutes for interference. Time of that penalty, 8 minutes, 24 seconds in the first period.
I don't know about that call, but they don't listen to us, Jackson. They make the calls, and those are the calls that count, and ASU goes on the power play. Minute 30 to go, and Arizona's able to get the puck down the ice.
And that was a real nice stick by Chris Wesson. He was able to deflect that pass that was headed right to the center of Shuro. There were 2 Sun Devils waiting for that rebound. And Westland, nice getting his stick in the lane.
ASU resets behind their own goaltender, Bronson Moore, now heads up ice. Cats wanted to defeat that speed. Oh, but the puck bounces in dangerously through the slot. Bailey Marshall digging for it there with Lengelar. Puck goes back down the ice. ASU hasn't set up yet on this power play. We're down to 55 seconds to go on the man advantage as this crowd continues to file into the Tucson Arena. I got to believe this is going to be by far the largest crowd of the night, of the season so far for Arizona.
Yeah, and we know the Tucson fans, it's a late arriving crowd. I expect this attendance to just keep going up as the game goes on.
Yeah, you can see the fans just streaming in. For whatever reason, Tucson, Arizona, notorious for being a late arriving crowd. And they're waiting for something good to happen from these Wildcats. There's already been some oohs and ahs with some of the hits. You can bet on physical play between Arizona and Arizona State. But right now, both teams know getting that red light red lamp delight is more important than making a hit.
Yeah, I think both teams, when the hitting picks up is usually when one team is feeling desperate. But right here, right now, both of these teams, it's a 0-0 game. They want to be the first team to light the lamp, so I expect a lot of clean intensity for right now.
Another penalty killed by Arizona, already 2 for Arizona State, 2 power plays. See if the Cats can go on the offensive. Boy, they have to stay out of the box. You cannot keep giving your rival opportunities like that. As here comes Cusinelli with the puck. Nice block. As the puck comes right back to Moore, and he makes the save and gobbles it up. Garrett Brown made a nice little poke there of Cusinelli, so he couldn't get that shot off cleanly. Puck does come in on Moore, but he makes the good save and settle things down. Now, we talk about the clicker, the mental clicker that referees have that tends to even out calls between teams. Now, they will never admit to a conscious attempt at evening up calls, but they do want to be fair to both teams. Arizona State already has had 2 power plays. I got to believe before this first period is out that Arizona at least will get 1 opportunity, but they have to earn that opportunity by moving their skates, working hard.
Yeah, and surprisingly, this Arizona State team is a very well-coached and disciplined team. We talked about it, a different coaching staff with this program this year with head coach Tate Green. So this is a much more disciplined team. I'm not sure if we'll see as many penalties as we would from Arizona State teams of past.
Cats try to throw it in on goal, but it bounces out of play. Yeah, I'm very impressed with the discipline of the Sun Devil team. They don't appear to be as talented as ASU teams from the last couple years, but they appear to have, and this is just an outsider's view, they appear to have more of a team cohesion this year as they're trying to work with their new coaching staff. And you just get the idea that they really value team effort.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell, just watching last night's game and early here tonight, that this is a team that likes to work hard. We've seen them. They moved their feet through all 60 minutes last night, so that's really impressive. You don't see that for a full game from a lot of teams, and clearly this is a team that likes to work hard.
Well, especially a team that's just 7-16 on the year, but they're still ranked number 25. They're not out of the hunt for the national tournament, and that carrot in front of them, if you work hard, if you can win this game, that second semester, get to that national tournament, that will motivate any hockey team.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it, Tim, but the result of this game is really going to weigh heavily on both the team that loses and the team that wins headed into the break. After this game, there's a break that each team will have before they play another game, and win or lose, that's the game you dwell on for the next month.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than a month having the last game you played be a loss, especially to your rival, just sticking in your craw. We saw at the end of the first semester, last season, Jackson, Arizona won the Cactus Cup. Here in Tucson, they were elated. It was a huge goal that they won, but it kind of kept something from needing to be achieved in the second semester. As play continues on, as we said, Arizona can't secure the Cactus Cup again this year with the win here tonight. They'd be 1 win away.
Yeah, and getting that trophy at the end of the first semester last year, it kind of gives you a sense that you've won a championship of sorts. And although beating ASU in the season series is a big deal, it's not the ultimate goal of this organization.
Yeah, and Arizona State played much better against Arizona in the second semester last season, but that's last season. Here we have number 6 Arizona, 15-3 on the year so far. Giving the puck away almost was Manny Rowe in front of his own goaltender. He recovers nicely. Against number 25 Arizona State.
And that's that dangerous area. You got to make sure you don't give up the puck, 10 feet inside or outside your own blue line. That's how goals are scored, is turnovers there.
Boy, both teams being very careful here not to make a mistake. Knowing how all important that first goal is going to be. Puck comes in on Moore. He does the smart thing and just stops the play, so we'll have a face-off to the left of Moore with 7:08 to go in the first period. Evenly played. not quite playoff hockey, but these two teams are being cautious.
Yeah, I think they saw last night that, mistakes will lead to goals. You lose sight of the puck for a little bit. It'll end up in the back of your net. So I think both teams are aware after the result of last night that anything can happen in this rivalry. So I think they're just taking a little extra time with their passes, making sure they make the right play so they're not the player to make a mistake.
Play back on as the icing is waved off. Arizona sends it up the near side boards. ASU digs it out. They've got a man standing at the far post, but he doesn't have the puck. Cats are able to get it up, but not out. So Ben Jones digs for it there now. Sends it up to Justin Plumhoff. We talk about secondary scoring. It's a line like this that needs to start lighting the lamp for Arizona too.
Yeah, and although, we had Cusinelli and Marshall score last night, we had Trey Decker, who isn't the biggest point scorer. We're going to get some action here.
Josh Larson did not like his treatment after that puck was frozen, and he threw a glove into the Sun Devil, and they're still wrestling. Larson needs to keep his head here. Cats already have been in the box twice here in the first period. They don't want to give another power play to Arizona State. This is the kind of intensity this rivalry breeds, Jackson. I've seen it for more than 30 years, and it doesn't change year to year to year to year. This intensity is always there.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's one of those situations where you dislike these guys without even knowing them. Even if they didn't do anything, like usually we see a hit lead to an altercation like that. That looks like it was just a couple of words, and you're right, Josh Larson was not too happy about it. And it looks like that's Justin Plumhoff.
Yeah, Plumhoff. Plumhoff going to the box. Wait, is this a second Arizona player going in too?
That's Trey Decker standing outside the Arizona penalty box. Not sure if he's headed in.
Oh, he is. Trey Decker also in the box. Is this going to be a two-man advantage? Nope. Here comes a Sun Devil. Kenneth Miller for ASU heading into the box. But I think ASU is still going to come out of this with a man advantage, Jackson. This is the kind of stuff Arizona has to avoid.
Yeah, and it's so hard, us up in the box, we can say avoid those. But the intensity and the emotion down there, it's one of those things that you just can't avoid. A guy says something, you're going to stand up for yourself. You're going to stand up for the guy next to you on the bench, and that's just how it's going to be. And unfortunately for the Cats, they've got two guys in the box, but I think they're going to get off lucky here with the call. That could have been a dangerous two-man advantage for Arizona State if they were able to walk out of this with a 5-on-3.
Well, we're waiting for the call. It could still be a 5-on-4. Oh, and another Sun Devil's coming over to the box. That's Jaeger Larson. Jaeger Larson, one of the better scorers for Arizona State.
And I think that's the right call there, Tim. I mean, there were a ton of players in that altercation. I think it'd be unfair if it led to a man advantage here.
Yeah, unless there was something really egregious. You hate for one team or the other to get an advantage out of that kind of thing. Because, frankly, there's 50 nudges and hits and slaps and stuff that the referees just don't see in those kinds of altercations.
Especially with this three official system that we play here in Tucson, it's hard for only 3 referees to keep track of exactly what's going on in those scrums.
And yeah, what Jackson's talking about is Coach Berman prefers 1 referee and 2 linesmen instead of 2 referees. That means a lot of stuff behind the play is lost sometimes to the officials. So
number 4, Kenneth Miller, 2 minutes for roughing. Sun Devil penalty on number 7, Jaeger Larson, 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 19, Justin Plumhoff, 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 25, Trey Decker, 2 minutes for roughing. All penalties at 13:37 of the first period.
Okay, that's okay. That's an official keeping control of the game. And we have offsetting penalties. I got to think, breaking up the flow of the game helps ASU too.
Yeah, it does. I think this University of Arizona team is a much quicker, definitely more skilled. If you look at the statistics, they have the upper hand. So I think being able to cut down the speed gives ASU the upper hand.
Wow, Shuro with a great pad save there. His right pad, he just flashed it out. Again, ASU could be up by 1 or 2 goals here tonight. Anthony Shuro playing very well. Cats need to settle down and start their speed game.
Yeah, they need to help Shuro out. You know, he's been playing so excellently, but you can't rely on him to make all these incredible saves. You got to help him out.
We've got a huge crowd here tonight waiting for Arizona to do something. They just want to erupt as soon as that lamp goes on. It's Charlie James with the puck. Sends it up through the slot. Can Arizona get it? Briefly they do. Puck comes back to center ice though. It's amazing. Less than 5 minutes to go in the first period now. Fans are still filing in.
Yeah, we talked about that late arriving crowd. Tucson fans, they're a crowd that likes to come when they please. And I expect this building to keep filling up.
Big crowd here as the puck goes behind Shuro. Rowe moves it up to Artizone. And now down into the ASU zone. They're waiting for Arizona to, a big hit, a big goal to go crazy. Artizone with the puck now. One of the talented freshmen. Boy, he was chopped at from behind, no call. Cats try to feather the puck through. That was another one of those fabulous freshmen. Defenseman Hull. Oh, there's a shot. Anthony Shuro doesn't know where that puck went. He was very fortunate it went behind the net. It popped off of him and he didn't know. That's, wow, chalk that one up to Lady Luck for Arizona. Less than 4 minutes to go here, and Shuro does a good job here, and he just gobbles this puck for a faceoff.
Yeah, you got to slow it down there. I mean, it happens to goaltenders. We see it all the time. Sometimes you just lose track of the puck, and sometimes when it's up in the air like that, it can end up in behind you, inside your own net. So luckily for Shuro there, it ended up bouncing outside of the net.
Boy, I thought that was going to come right back down like on his backside and into the net. It just squirted wide, and we remain scoreless here in the first period. 3:54 to go in the first. This is classic Arizona State hockey, Jackson, the kind of intensity and effort that defies all records. It has to go down to this rivalry, especially on a Saturday night, big crowd. These two teams are motivated.
Yeah, like you said, you know, the records of these two teams aren't reflected right now. These are two very evenly matched teams. Even though Arizona's ranked 6th in the country and Arizona State 25th, they're playing an equal level right now.
I'm not quite sure how the Sun Devils only have 7 wins on the year so far. They play a very disciplined style of hockey. They just don't score a lot of goals. But Arizona hasn't tonight either. We're still 0-0 here in the first, coming down to the 3-minute mark left in the first. ASU just throws it into the Arizona zone and goes for a change. It's Cam Armstrong with the puck. Coming up to the blue line. Armstrong with the puck to center ice. Throws it into the ASU zone.
The Cats, much better forecheck here tonight. We're able to see them send the puck in and retrieve it to set up a nice play.
ASU doing a better job of keeping Cat players away from that crease area. Devin Langelaar comes up with the puck. .230 to go in the first, scoreless between number 6 Arizona and number 25 Arizona State. Trey Decker with that first goal last night tries to throw it into the zone, but it pinballs back out.
And the Sun Devils, they're having a difficult time getting control out of their zone, but they're getting out of their zone. They're getting the puck out, but the Cats have such an aggressive forecheck here tonight that we didn't see last night that's allowing them to not allow Arizona State to have that good control breakout.
Boy, this big crowd waiting for something positive to happen. Josh Larson with the puck now heading up ice. Sends it way across ice. Trey Decker's going to pick it up. Decker coming in on the wing. Goes to Keelan Ulnick. I don't know if that puck got all the way through. Had a good opportunity there in the slot. Decker with the puck. Sends it out to Larson. Larson with the backhander just squirts through the crease. Good shift here for Arizona. Can they draw a penalty perhaps? Puck comes up, Cats keep it in. That's Ulnick skating with the puck. Keelan Ulnick skating with so much more confidence here this year. But he backs-handed it right to a Sun Devil, and ASU breaks out to center ice.
He's really grown in his confidence this year, Tim. Big crowd just kind of whispering, waiting for something big to happen right now.
As the Cats come up the ice, Justin Plumhoff just sends it in on goal. Moore does the smart thing. He just gloves it, and we'll have a face-off.
Yeah, Moore is recognizing that this is a quick team that'll jump on rebounds, referring to the Cats, but the Sun Devils tonight doing a much better job of keeping right in front of Bronson more clear. They're not allowing Wildcat players to just sit there and stand there like we saw last night. They're trying to prevent those second and third chances.
Yeah, Arizona was able to create a little bit of chaos in front of Moore last night. They're keeping the crease area cleaner here tonight, and we remain scoreless. Just 1:04 to go in this first period. Classic Arizona State contest as these two teams are really going at each other. Good, clean hockey, though, Jackson.
Yeah, it's real clean, and that's good to see. You know, both of these teams are working hard, but they're not looking for the big dirty hit. They're just putting the body on just enough to try and separate the player from the puck.
You know, this huge crowd can turn into a disadvantage for Arizona if they fall behind, because this crowd is waiting for Arizona to make something happen. As we head to the last 30 seconds of the first period, Arizona trying to break in over the ASU line. They do. Jake Dickinson with the puck. Sends it cross ice, but ASU is able to intercept, at least get it to center ice. Cam Armstrong back to Langelar. Now Kyle Wade over the blue line is just blockered away. Down to the last 8 seconds. ASU up 2-on-2. The puck goes behind the net. 3, 2, 1. That'll do it for the first period of play. And we got a big hit in the near side here.
I'm not sure that was a hit, Tim.
Arizona with 8 shots on goal in the first, ASU with 6. Was that Chris Westland missing his mark there?
No, there were actually 2 Arizona State players going after him, and he just slipped in between them, and both of those Arizona State players ended up missing the hit on Chris Westland and just allowing them to run into the boards, which I know the fans here love. But, you know, tonight Arizona out-shooting Arizona State in the first period. We didn't see that last night. I believe it was 12-8 in favor of Arizona State last night after 1. So that's good to see that the Cats are putting on more pressure here tonight. They're trying to get more shots on net, and they were good quality shots here tonight. I mean, you see a lot of guys like Cusinelli, they're taking shots off wide instead of looking for that cross-ice pass, because Arizona State is getting sticks and lanes, and they're protecting the middle of the ice.
Well, showing you how hard it is to figure out ice hockey, Jackson. Arizona played a better first period here tonight than they did last night. But last night they ended the first period with a 2-goal lead. So the irony is they played a better period here tonight, but we're scoreless. We're tied 0-0 after the first period of play. That was a well-played period of hockey. Very measured by both teams, neither team wanting to make that critical mistake.
Yeah, a very disciplined period from both teams. I think the discipline is the story of that first period, because neither team really engaged in after whistle altercations, aside from that one that led to an even strength after, you know, no advantage called after that. But a lot of discipline here. I really like how both teams, you know, they're trying to make the right play. They don't want to be the guy that puts up the mistake that allows the other team to score here. So I expect to see that come into the second period. But I think both teams have more energy to give here. I don't think we've seen everything. I think both teams are still a little nervous of giving up that first goal.
So 1 period of play in the books. We're scoreless between number 6 Arizona and number 25 Arizona State. Now stick around, Cats fans, because we'll have our video package talking to the coaches, to the players, and everything to do with Arizona hockey. At the end of 1 period, we're scoreless, 0-0 between Arizona and Arizona State. You are watching University of Arizona Wildcats hockey.
Wildcat Hockey is back home. Save up to 20% with UofA Hockey's new FlexPack options, with access of up to 12 UofA games this season.
Your Arizona Wildcats.
Don't miss out. FlexPack tickets are available at TCC box office or call in 791-4101. That's 791-4101. Supporting a UofA hockey team just got easier with our new FlexPack ticket plans. For more information, please visit ArizonaWildcatHockey.org.
I'm Timothy Gasson. They call me the AZ Puck Man. I've been following hockey at the University of Arizona for more than 30 years. And this is my Wildcat Hockey Report.
Welcome to the Wildcat Hockey Report. Let's send it over to Jackson Peters.
Hi, I'm Jackson Peters, and I'm joined here by the head coach of the University of Arizona Wildcats hockey team, Coach Chad Berman. And Coach, you guys are off to an excellent start this year. How important is that for you in a season like this where you have so many new guys coming to the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always want to get off to a quick start. I think it sets you up down the road, especially when you look at our schedule. We have got, the entire month of October. We're on the road here, so we prepared for that, and part of what we talked about was it's important that we get on a hot start while we're on the road. Hopefully, we're a team that hopes to be in contention for a conference championship come the end of the season, so if we can have a winning record on the road here, have them come back to our building in the backstretch here with all the pressure on them, I think that's a good situation for us moving forward.
And like we always talk about is this big, long month of October. You've been on the road almost the entire time. How has that affected your team? Has it given the new guys a chance to, bond with some of the veterans of this team? What are you guys doing to really mesh this team together on the road?
Yeah, it's been nothing but positive. We've spent a lot of time talking about the psychology of controlling your thoughts and what we can handle, and the guys have been excellent. The new guys, the veteran guys have been great and stepping up and really engaging with the new guys. And when you're stuck on a bus for 19 hours with a group of people, it's funny what you can come up with. We found out we're not very good at spelling. They had a rookie spelling bee that we didn't even make it through the 8th grade on. So the guys are having fun. We're having fun on and off the ice. It's a really close group, and I think it's showing. Every week we're getting a little better here.
And you talk about all this fun that these guys are having. Do you think that some of the new guys, the rookies, the freshmen, the transfers, are they bringing a little bit more excitement to this team, or do you think it's mostly the veterans that are bringing a lot of this energy to the season this year?
I think it's a little bit of both. We brought in guys who have winning pedigrees and are bringing a winning attitude, and I think you're seeing that. And I also think they're shooting a little bit of life into our veterans who are seeing what they're adding. And these guys had gone through the haul of pushing this program to where we are today, and it adds a lot of enthusiasm and energy into our room when you're winning. Obviously, it makes those road trips a lot easier. So we're just excited to be playing in meaningful games. And as we told the guys, the more games you win, the more important they become. So we're just enjoying the process and trying to keep our focus nice and short.
So these regular season games, you've been winning a ton, but the next home game you guys will have will be November 3rd against the NHL alumni team. And of course, this won't count towards the standings. You won't get any win percentage from it. But what is something your team can learn from a matchup against some NHL veterans?
Yeah, well, it's a great opportunity for the fans to see NHL players in our building here, and what a great showcasing of hockey for hockey out here in the West. Our players are going to learn a ton. I know last time we did this a couple years back, it's just they're so smart. It's the littlest things they do, jumping into pockets, reading plays in advance, and how well they play off the ice. I'm sure we'll find film that even show them, and any engagement they can have with those guys is just bonus. But, it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody involved, including our players. I know they're looking forward to it as well.
I've been speaking with head coach Chad Berman. I'm Jackson Peters. That'll conclude this section of the Arizona Wildcat Hockey Report, but stay tuned as Tim Gasson will interview one of the newest additions to the Wildcat hockey team.
Welcome back to the Wildcat Hockey Report. I'm Timothy Gasson, and I'm with a high-scoring member, a new member of the Wildcat squad. This is Bailey Marshall. Now, Bailey, you're on a scoring tear. Early in the season, you're averaging more than a goal and an assist each game. Are you doing anything different this year to account for this high scoring? You've always been a scorer at the college level, but since coming to Arizona, you're really ripping it up. Are you doing anything differently?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm doing anything differently. I just think that I'm meshing really well with a lot of the guys in the team, and our power play has been really good, and that's where a lot of my points have come from. So it's just a lot of the things the other guys are doing, and it's not all me. So it's definitely, I'm doing the same thing as last year, just getting lucky, I guess, this year so far. So
well, you definitely have some help on this Wildcat squad. Of course, you're a line mate with the All-ACHA All-Star Anthony Cusinelli. Now, you haven't played a lot of games together yet, but I can see an on-ice chemistry between you and Anthony Cusinelli. How do you form that kind of chemistry when you get into training camp with a new team? You're a transfer from the University of Central Oklahoma. How do you form that kind of chemistry with a new teammate, a new squad? Because it looks like you guys have been playing together for a long time.
Yeah, he's just a good player, and it's really easy to get in and start doing well with a player like that. We find each other pretty well. He's got a good shot, good release, so it's definitely helpful playing with him. And then some other line mates I played with, Stolly and Dungy, and just everyone's contributing. And definitely Cusinelli is a big part of our line, and it's definitely good playing with him. I'm having fun playing with him for sure.
Now, you've already been successful at the college level, and as I mentioned, you're a transfer from the University of Central Oklahoma, which every year has a very strong hockey program. Can can you compare and contrast perhaps the offensive styles of Central Oklahoma and Arizona so far in your Arizona Wildcat season?
I'd say that this year Arizona is definitely looking better this year for us for sure, and it definitely looks more controlled in that everyone's just playing their role and stuff like that. And UCO is pretty much the same thing. Like, you just got to have guys playing the role that they're supposed to. You got to have the top guys scoring. You got to have the third, fourth line guys getting out there, banging bodies and putting up a point here and there. So it's pretty similar this year, I'd say, to what UCO has been in the past, and I think that's why we're gonna have a pretty good season ahead of us.
Now, of course, the Wildcats and Central Oklahoma play in the same conference in the Western Collegiate Hockey League. Both look like they're going to compete for the league championship, and they're going to have to play each other. Is that going to be strange to go back and play your former teammates at UCO, or does that go away once the puck drops and you're just playing another team?
Yeah, I mean, when I get there, it's definitely gonna be nice to see a lot of the guys that I was buddies with, because I still can't stay in contact with them and stuff like that. But I mean, once the puck drops, it's definitely game time. Like, I got something to prove. Like, I left a team that has a good record every year, and definitely they're gonna want to take one from me this year. And when we play them every time, so it's definitely going to be a grind playing them, but it'll be good to see some of the old friends there.
Now, you're not the only Marshall on this Wildcat squad. Your younger brother, is a freshman on this Wildcat squad. Now, we've had brothers before on the Wildcats, and usually they have an intense rivalry with each other. Each brother wants to prove they're stronger, they're faster, they're better than their brother. Do you have that kind of relationship with your brother, or are you more of a mentor to your younger brother?
Yeah, I'd say more of a mentor. I mean, this is actually our first year ever playing together, which is pretty cool. And I mean, we're on the penalty kill together, and we've been tearing it up on the penalty kill. But yeah, I definitely say he looks up to me a little bit, and I mean, I try and lead him in the right direction. But you know, he's young, and hopefully he'll get there in his next couple years here.
Now, that's Dawson Marshall, the younger brother here. He's a couple years younger. So do you see yourself in him a little bit? Like, this was the kind of player I was, or the kinds of things that I had to learn as a player when I was a couple years earlier?
I'd say that we're just kind of different kind of players. Like, obviously lately I've been scoring a lot. He's more of a grinder kind of guy, doing well on the penalty kill. So he's just, like I said, like everyone's been doing, just filling his role, and that's just all that the team can ask for him.
We've been speaking with Bailey Marshall, the high-scoring forward of the Arizona Wildcats. We look forward to seeing you light the lamp again at the Tucson Arena, and we hope to see you here on the next Wildcat Hockey Report.
Hello Wildcat fans, I'm Chad Berman, head coach of Arizona Hockey. I'm inviting you out for our annual Pink the Rink event. You could buy one of these jerseys and put the name of any loved one you want on the back. All proceeds go directly to the University of Arizona Cancer Center. Help us put cancer in the penalty box.
You walk into this building on an ASU night, I mean, it feels different. Everybody feels it, from the fans to, the media, down to the coaching staff. Beating these guys, a couple more times, I don't think that anything could really beat that.
And the Wildcats will secure the Cactus Cup.
There's a shot to goal. Arizona takes the lead.
That is all Jake Dickinson. He's wheeling and dealing. That's my player of the game, Tim. Easy.
Welcome back to the University of Arizona Wildcats hockey. I'm Timothy Gasson, joined by Jackson Peters as we get ready for the second period of play between number 6 Arizona and number 25 Arizona State. A well-played first period of play in that scoreless first period, Jackson, between two very motivated teams.
Yeah, both those teams clearly want to get that first goal. They both need this win in their minds. Whether they do or not, we're not quite sure because of how the ACHA standings go. But both teams are treating this like a must-win game, and you can see that with how they're reluctant on some plays. They don't want to make the dumb pass that, will lead to a nice scoring chance for the other team. They want to be smart. They don't want to be the guy that is responsible for a change in this game. So I expect a lot of conscious effort and really hard work in the second period, and I expect more effort since neither team was really able to get a whole lot done in that first period.
Well, we remain scoreless. I got to believe ASU has to be happier with that period than Arizona. They just can't fall behind by a couple goals here in front of this big crowd, the largest crowd of the season so far for Arizona.
Yeah.
Here at the Tucson Arena.
Yeah, it's a big crowd, but you also have to think, Tim, that's intimidating if you're one of the Wildcats players because, with all these people, they're watching you. They expect you to do something. And plus, you think about it, if you mess up, everybody here sees it. So that's a lot you got to be thinking about if you're a player for Arizona. But if you're Arizona State, I don't know how much it weighs heavily on you. If you make a mistake in front of these fans, it's just a little intimidating when you walk out here. But I'm sure they're adjusted to that by now after a one full game here last night.
Well, it can sound like a rocket engine at the Tucson Arena when Arizona really gets it going and starts to score a few goals. That's what needs to happen to make this a real home ice advantage. You don't want to disappoint that large fan base, and sometimes that can change the play of a home team. Sometimes it's easier, as you say, to play on the road. Arizona State doesn't play in any situation like this anywhere else in the season. At home, they played very small crowds in a very humble home rink when you compare it to the Tucson Arena. And, that's the situation for most ACHA teams. There are a few who draw more than 1,000, but no one has a 6,700-seat arena like the Tucson Arena with the kind of fan support that University of Arizona sports fans give, especially when your team beats your rival. Speaking of which, Arizona State takes the ice to the approval of the Tucson Arena crowd. For an Arizona sports fan, even if they're not a hockey fan, beating ASU comes number one. Number one. Here come the Cats now out of the locker room getting ready to come onto the ice. To get this second period of play started. So Jackson, give me one thing you want to see the Arizona Wildcats do that they didn't do in the first period to try to score this all-important first goal.
They can't stop moving their feet, Tim. I've been stressing that all night last night, stressed in the first period. They cannot stop moving their feet, especially on those one-on-one board battles. You can't stop moving your feet. You can't start watching the puck. You can't start watching the guy. You got to get on that puck. You know, this is, you know, your last game of the semester. Give it all. Give 110% every shift you're out there. Don't stop moving your feet. You know, if they can get, you know, start winning those one-on-one battles, that puts you in good scoring chances. So that's the big one for me. Don't stop moving your feet here.
My key is to stay out of the penalty box. Arizona cannot afford the parade to the penalty box that they had in the first period.
No, they can't. And one of the big things they need to do here is avoid those altercations after the whistle. You never know how an official is going to call that.
Right.
And sometimes it'll end up in a disadvantage, you know, a 5-on-4 power play for the other team. Whether that's the right call or not, that's how it ends up sometimes.
Yeah, the superior skill and speed of the Arizona squad, which we think they have over Arizona State, gets completely mitigated if you're in the penalty box. Play back on as Arizona with Anthony Cusinelli sends it in on Moore. That's a good idea. I get the idea that one of the messages from Coach Werman in between periods was get the puck on net.
Yeah, you got to get Bronson Moore moving here. He's been good tonight, but he hasn't had to be much better than that. The Cats haven't put a lot of offensive pressure on him. Not a lot of rebounds that have been shot, but the big thing they need to do is get him moving and get him seeing some shots.
Marshall wins the shot. Oh, there's just a floater there from Ulnick that I don't know if Moore saw, but it went wide. There's a wide angle shot on Moore off of his shoulder, and he finds it. This is the plan. Get some pucks and get some mayhem going in front of Bronson Moore.
And Moore's recognizing that. You can see him really trying to control those rebounds and not leave anything coming out in front of the net. So I expect to see him cover for a whistle at any chance he gets.
Yeah, that would be a smart move. The slower the game is, I think, the better it is for Arizona State. And they have to hope for an opportune goal, perhaps a power play goal. They just have to mitigate that skill and speed from Arizona, as Arizona is able to with this top line, keep the puck in the Arizona State end of the ice. We're just underway here in the second period. As the puck pinballs around in the slot. Thought it was going to come out to center ice, but no! Almost fed down into Bailey Marshall. He throws it from behind the red line to the net, just hoping for something to happen. That was a shift of almost for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, nice scoring chance there, and it was so close to almost a breakaway. But that's a nice heads-up play for them to be able to get the puck out of the zone like they did there.
Here's a dangerous clearing attempt from Bronson Moore, but no harm. As Ben Jones comes in with the puck over the line, but it's poked right back into the Arizona end of the ice. Just underway in the second period, scoreless between number 6 Arizona and number 25 Arizona State. Sun Devils played a fine game last night, but were 3-0 losers. Well, they're playing a nice steady game here tonight as well, and we're all even in the second period as this big crowd tries to get the UofA chant going. Josh Larson with the puck at center ice, coming in over the line. He's squeezed off of it there. Puck pinballs out to center ice. And Josh Larson tries to poke it into the zone, loses his stick, throws a hit, now picks up his stick as ASU recovers in their own end. That's Zach Kowalchuk with the puck now up the near side boards. Comes back into the zone and now deflects out of play. No, it doesn't deflect out of play. I thought that went out of play. I saw fans reaching for the puck, but it stays in. And play continues on as the Cats come away with it. Cam Armstrong with the puck up the far side boards. Boy, you get the carefulness of how these two teams are playing right now is fascinating.
Yeah, neither team allowing for a lot of room.
There's a point-blank shot from Kyle Wade. Moore fought it off, and we remain scoreless. Nice setup by Arizona. And there was a rebound redirection. The only thing that went in the net was an Arizona player.
And I believe that's Kyle Wade, but he was doing the right thing there. He was charging the net. He was expecting that rebound. And I think we got to talk about Bronson Moore on that series. He made a really nice save off a 2-on-0. That was an excellent setup of a one-timer by the Wildcats, and Bronson Moore able to bail his team out once again here.
Yeah, one of the better opportunities for Arizona. And I think the longer this game goes on without Arizona scoring a goal, the more pressure comes on the home team.
Yeah, I think that the pressure in this game is all on the Cats. You know, they're expected to win in the standings. They won last night after shutting out Arizona State. I think Arizona State has little to no pressure on them here. They just came out here. You know, they played a good game last night, but I think they can win this game.
Oh, they absolutely do. Now it's up to the focus and intensity of Arizona. Shuro just slaps that puck aside to the far side. Now it comes up the near side boards, and the Cats just get it to center ice. Not a lot of continuity there. But Dawson Marshall, brother of Bailey Marshall, gives up the puck. Here comes Garrett Amaya for Arizona State over the line. The Caps are able to get it to center ice. A little bit of choppy play right now, as we're just 3.5 minutes in to the second period. Scoreless between number 6 Arizona and number 25 Arizona State, and you can feel the tension building here with this huge crowd as there's a point-blank shot on Anthony Shuro. He makes the save. Wasn't quite sure where that puck was, but he made the save. His helmet pops off. I don't think it's because it hit his helmet. But there's Anthony Shuro once again, shining on the spot, saving the Cats.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he lost sight of the puck there. He wasn't quite sure where it was.
Yeah.
He looks like he might have thought it slipped through him, but he's able to make the save there and again bail his Wildcat squad out.
Yeah, it's interesting how you can read the body expression of a goaltender who thinks, I don't know where that puck is. Is it behind me? Oh, it isn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and as a player, Tim, that's one of the worst things you want to see is when your goaltender doesn't know where the puck is. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
But luckily for the Cats there, Shuro was able to make the save, and it looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with his helmet after it popped
something
off.
happened to Shuro's helmet. It popped off of him as the whistle was blown there. They're going to see if they can have a quick fix. All of this has to help Arizona State, I gotta believe. Arizona wants a fast game up and down the ice. Arizona State really wants to keep anything from happening. Keep the puck in front of them, keep their slot clear.
Yeah, I think you can characterize this Arizona Wildcats squad as a very fast one. And this Arizona State team, although they don't have the speed and skill of the Cats, you know, they're working so hard that they're just trying to shut down that speed and slow things down so they can get an opportunity of their own.
Face off now to the left of Anthony Shuro, who's been stellar here in goal both last night and tonight. Cats blindly send the puck up to the blue line, and ASU's able to keep it in. Bailey Marshall digging for it there, and the Cats do come away with it. And now out to center ice, here comes Anthony Cusinelli over to Stalyuth. And we're going to have a delayed penalty on ASU. The Cats are finally going to have their first penalty of the game. Anthony Shuro's to the bench, extra attacker on for Arizona. As the Cats move in over the line. Josh Larson sends it in. There's a backhander there by Chris Westland, gloved by Moore, and we'll have a whistle, and Arizona will go on the power play. Once again, I didn't see the infraction there, Jackson, but finally, Arizona will get the man advantage.
Yeah, and you know, this is something the Cats have been waiting all night for. Arizona State had a couple power plays in the first, but now it's the Cats' turn, and I think they can use their speed. You know, they've shown a lot more intensity tonight compared to last night. I think that they can set themselves up to make an impression here.
Play on now in the power play.
And to bring Bradley Budman 2 minutes for interference. Time for that penalty, 4 minutes, 35 seconds in the first period. And it gives your Wildcats a Hogan Transportation power play.
Budman in the box for 2 minutes for interference. Cats were able to keep the puck in, but now here comes out ASU 2-on-1 if they hurry. Great defensive stick there by Arizona to break up that 2-on-1. shorthanded bid by Arizona State. Could have been a disaster for Arizona. Josh Larson comes in over the line. He's taken down and ridden out of the play, no call. Cant sent it in. There's a nice reaction save by Bronson Moore. That was directed away right in the slot, and Moore's able to make the save. And there's a tip just over the net. Arizona now doing everything but scoring the goal. Nice goaltending there by Bronson Moore. As the puck was redirected right in front of him, he made a good instinct save. Moore making the saves tonight that he needs to make to keep Arizona State in this game as the power play continues on. 50 seconds to go. U of A chant starts up again. This huge crowd wants to see a goal so bad. Here's Josh Larson, crash in the net, crash in the slot. Here's an empty puck. Yes, Manny Rowe picks up the loose puck and buries it. Cats take a 1-0 lead over Arizona State.
Wow, Tim, that was a gift to Manny Rowe. Everybody but Manny Rowe is involved with that scrum in the net. There's no whistle from the ref. I think the Sun Devils are going to be upset that there was no call there, but it's just sitting there. Manny Rowe picks it up, picks the spot, and buries it.
A giant pile of humanity in front of Bronson Moore, but guess what? The puck wasn't covered. The puck was sitting in the crease.
And it looks like Arizona State is going to get another penalty from that.
The puck was loose, so that's why the whistle wasn't blown. And Manny Rowe came in from his defensive spot, picked up the puck, somehow found a way to get it through that sea of humanity into the open net.
And that is excellent officiating there, Tim. I cannot stress enough how many times that happens in games where there's a scrum that doesn't need to be whistled and the official simply loses sight of the puck. But there, he recognized that the puck was still out. That's great officiating, and I think that's a big part of why the Cats were able to score that goal. That's an excellent goal by the Cats, hard-fought goal. And Manny Rowe really lucked out with the placement of where that puck ended up.
Well, I get the idea that the penalty is going to be from that scrum, from ASU players perhaps holding a U of A player down, so there was no reason to blow the whistle, and the puck was loose. Manny Rowe alert, not only to pick up the puck, but to move to the left so he could get an angle on the net and pop that goal.
But the Sun Devils are going to have to be really frustrated here. We're going to get some signs from the official as he's explaining to assistant coach of the Sun Devils, James Nellis, what's going on here. We're just going to have to wait and see what the call is here. If you're a Sun Devil here, you have to be incredibly frustrated. I mean, if you're all laying around in front of the net, I mean, it's hard to not expect a whistle there. And I would understand the frustration, but the puck was loose, so it's a good no whistle there. But if you're the Sun Devils here, that's a huge blow to your confidence.
Yeah,
in this game.
that's the definition of frustration. For Arizona State, they have played so well, and there's a scramble goal that got this crowd excited. They were looking for something like that. I thought immediately perhaps it was going to be waved off that the whistle had blown. As you said, I tip my hat to the officials for not blowing the whistle there. There was no reason to. Now there is a Sun Devil player in the box, but they don't have anything up on the board yet. We'll have to wait for the call.
Arizona Wildcat goal, given to number 20, Manny Rowe. Last row, unassisted. Time of your Wildcat power play goal, 6 minutes, 9 seconds in the second period.
He shoots, he scores. Manny Rowe puts the Cats up ahead 1-0. And you can hear this.
A 10-minute misconduct. Time of that penalty, 6 minutes, 9 seconds in the second period.
So a misconduct for Amaya. No man advantage for Arizona. As ASU almost came back with a great opportunity to tip that puck in. Those are the kinds of things that haven't been going in for ASU in these two games, though. Boy, you can feel the energy pick up now as Anthony Cusinelli comes up the wing with the puck. Cusinelli with the puck. He sends it. He didn't put that quite where he wanted to, right into the breadbasket of Moore, who makes a good save there.
You can tell, Tim, that goal by Manny Rose really giving this University of Arizona team a little bit of extra energy here. Since they scored, there's been a lot of fast-moving feet out there on both sides of the ice.
Boy, the crowd buzzing now as Arizona takes a 1-0 lead over Arizona State. We're 7:25 into the second period rather. Arizona breaks the ice. And here comes ASU back, 2-on-2. Maxwell Alazadea gets planted into the near side corner. But the puck stays in the zone. Ooh, it goes very dangerously to the side of the net. Good stick there from Arizona. The Cats pick it up and send it back behind the net. And Alazadea goes for it again. Alizadeh all over the puck there on that shift. Maxwell Alizadeh with a good shift there for Arizona, but the Cats are able to get the puck out of the zone.
Yeah, that was a real nice set of scoring chances from Arizona State. If they can keep moving the puck like that, something's going to open up for them.
Boy, the speed of the play has really picked up now with that. There's a puck that almost got batted in by an Arizona player. Very dangerous time right here for Arizona as the shot comes in on Shuro. Cats are able to get it down. That's a good ice by Arizona because they were scrambling around a little bit in their own end. So the Cats will have to keep their players on the ice. 11:21 to go in the second. Arizona with a 1-0 lead, but that's just really a one-shot lead, isn't it, Jackson?
Yeah, and just like we saw there, Anthony Shuro came up big there. That puck was bouncing around. It looked like it was going to bounce off a Wildcat into the net behind Shuro, but he was able to pull up and make the save. And it just shows you one lucky bounce, and this is a tie game, Tim.
ASU wins the face-off. Oh, but the Cats come away with the puck. That's Trey Decker coming up 2-on-2. Stalyuth down low. Oh, there's a beautiful feed in front. How did that not go in, Jackson? Now that was great puck movement. He really had ASU back on their heels, but ASU comes right back. Now throws the puck down the ice. This should be no ice. ASU goaltender is going to try to come out and play it. He does. Very dangerous as he had to get back into his slot.
And that's a real dangerous play for goaltenders to make, and Bronson Moore, he was able to make it, but the shot almost ended up in his net anyway.
Things opening up here on this game now. And there's an offside call on Arizona.
And I think that's the right call there. It looks like one of the catchers got stuck off sides.
Close call. But we'll have a face-off outside the Arizona State offensive zone. 10:33 to go in the second. Pace of play really picking up here. ASU knows now they can't let this game start to slip away from them. Keelan Ulnick comes in with a hard, high shot. Good save by Moore, though. He is keeping his Ulnick some more good skating and stick handling, keeping that puck in. But briefly, ASU comes back away with it. Nope, Cats keep it in. Good defensive stick there from Kowalchuk. And ASU comes back the other way. Cats throw it up the near side boards, and there's a point-blank shot in on Shuro, and he makes the save.
And Anthony Shuro just doing what Anthony Shuro does. A huge one-timer, slides across, makes the save. Really, again, bailing his team out. There was nobody out front, putting a stick in that lane, making sure that guy didn't get the shot off. And luckily for the Cats, Shuro keeps this Arizona State team from getting on the board once again.
Gavin Klein had the puck on his stick, and he had Shuro dead to right. That Shuro left naked there on his far post makes an incredible save. This is the kind of goaltender who you can ride deep into a national tournament. Anthony Shuro really showing some incredible maturity here in these 2 games against Arizona State.
Just a sophomore.
He's just a sophomore. He was always calm and steady as a freshman, but now as a sophomore, he's just getting stronger and more skilled in his position. It's an exciting thing to watch a young goaltender get better so quickly like that. So we'll have a face-off to the right of Shuro, won by Arizona. Cats wheel up the near side. Cats now starting to use their speed a little bit. Vale Artizone digs for it in the near side, but it comes back out to center ice.
And the Cats need to be careful here. When they shoot the puck and rim it around like that inside the offensive zone, that can lead to a good scoring chance for their opponent.
.9:15 to go in the second period. And that should be an interference call as the Arizona player got rid of the puck and then was held up from going to get it. But no call. We play on. It's Matthew Hull, one of the talented freshmen for Arizona, sends it up the far side boards. Yeah, Arizona has to be careful here with the puck. As Hull comes up the ice, he's waiting for some Cats. Sends it over to Artizone. Sends it off the blocker of Moore. Cats buzzing here. This is about the time of the game yesterday, Jackson, when the Cats' speed and skill started to be shown a little bit more. Very frustrated Sun Devil squad here. As the Cats defeat another bang-bang kind of play. But still, there are opportunities for Arizona. There's Arizona offside there. Anthony Cusinelli was just a step offside on his wing.
Yeah, just a little too excited there for Cusinelli. He wanted to join the rush, didn't want to take down his speed. They'll end up offsides. But you're right, Tim, there's been a lot of intensity here. You know, Arizona really starting to show their legs. But Arizona State, you can see that they don't want to end up in the same kind of hole as they were last night. They don't want to fall behind by 2 headed into the third period. They want to get on the board and they want to tie this game up. They don't want to have to be clawing back in during the third period.
You can tell that they're starting to lag a little bit here emotionally, though they're trying to pump themselves up, standing over on their benches, as is the Arizona bench. But watching the players on their ice, they are starting to show a little bit of wear. Well, guess what can energize those batteries instantly? A goal. Suddenly you'll never be tired again, you think, because you scored a goal. That's why Arizona's really pressing for that second one. Bailey Marshall over the line, sends it in. Nice big rebound. Moore does a fabulous job there to corral that rebound. Excellent goaltending from Bronson Moore. This is the kind of game they needed from him, and he's given it to the Arizona State University Sun Devils.
Yeah, if you're a player on the Sun Devils, there's not much more you can ask for from Bronson Moore. He's played excellent tonight. He did a big save to come up with right there, stopped the rebound, and then somehow held onto the puck. So he's doing everything he can to get a win out of his team. Now he just needs to rely on the guys in front of him to start burying the puck.
Bailey Marshall in on the faceoff for Arizona against Tim Hoffenkamp. Oh, there's a tip right in front by Bailey Marshall that went over the net. Great opportunity for Arizona. And here we got a tussle in the near side corner, and we'll have a whistle. They're both going to go. That's Ethan Stallyouth. We'll get the number for Arizona State. I think that might be Zach Kalchuk. Yep, so Kalchuk and Stallyouth will both go. I'll bet you these will be incidental roughing minors. And you know, this is a good way in a rivalry game like this, an intense rivalry game, for referees to keep control of it.
Yeah, the referees don't want this to turn into, you know, a big brawling match. They want to keep things under control. They want a hard-fought game. But I think that's a good call by the refs there. You know, send them both so it kind of sets the tone as to what's going to be allowed in this game and what's not. And it looks like we might get some 4-on-4 action here, which I think is favors the Cats with how much speed they have.
It does. We'll skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. But ASU wins that all-important face-off in their own end of the ice.
Sun Devil penalty on number 5, Zach Kowalczyk. 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 18, Ethan Stallhuth. 2 minutes for roughing. Both penalties at 12 minutes 22 seconds in the second period.
Yeah, you'd think this open ice with only 4 players on each team would benefit Arizona, as they wanted to go for a home run pass there to Trey Decker. He does have the puck. Sends it up to Keelan Ulnick. Ulnick coming in, he's being hooked. No call there. Play continues on. Shot that goes high and wide from ASU. Cats are able to send it down. Here's Trey Decker again with the puck. And a nice save by Decker. Oh, and a dish just wide by Justin Plumhoff. He had a wide open net. That was a wide open net for Arizona, but it goes wide. Great opportunity for Arizona, but we remain 1-0 Arizona over ASU. This crowd would have gone nuts for that, Jackson.
Yeah, there's not much more he can do there for the Wildcats. That's a perfectly set up and executed play. Did everything right except score the goal.
Anthony Cusinelli on the near side tried to get out of the zone, but it stays in. It's bouncing around in the slot. Who has the puck? Arizona does. It's loose in the slot, and now Arizona comes away one-on-one. That's Anthony Cusinelli. Anthony Cusinelli, and he took a cheap shot up high on Anthony Cusinelli. That's more than just an interference or a hold.
And Tim, if you're that Sun Devil player, I believe that's Jack York. That's one of those smart penalties you have to talk about. Anthony Cusinelli, one of the leading scorers of this Wildcats team. If you let him get that breakaway, you know he'll probably be able to bury it.
Oh, you have to take a penalty there, but that was up awfully high on Anthony Cusinelli. We'll see if this is just a 2-minute. Looks like it's just going to be a 2-minute minor, but that was awfully high. Those are the kind of, intent to injure kind of penalties. If that's how the referee sees it, he just saw it as a common 2-minute minor. But no, you're right. The ASU defender has to take down Cusinelli there, or that's a sure goal chance.
Number 27, Jack York, 2 minutes for interference. Time of that penalty, 14 minutes, 3 seconds in the second period. So Hogan, transportation, power play.
Well, York gets all 2 minutes of his interference penalty there. If that's a 2-minute minor for interference, he's getting his money's worth. As we're now back on to just a one-man advantage, playing 5-on-4. UofA chant starts up again. This crowd, with a minute and 25 seconds to go on the power play, wants to see that second goal for the Cats. As Josh Larson tries to come out in front. There's a jam attempt in front. The whistle finally goes, but the puck stays out of the net. 1:19 to go in the power play. Huge portion of the game here now, Jackson.
Yeah, and right there, I'm not sure if you caught it, Tim, a stick of a Wildcat got caught up in the neckline of Bronson Moore's jersey, and that's one of those things that you don't think of. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but that can really set you off if you're a goalie. It's one of those things. And earlier in that power play, we saw Bronson Moore. He was screaming because there was a Wildcat sitting in front of the net alone, nobody on him. He wants somebody to get on him so he doesn't have to worry about it. So the Sun Devils got away with a break there. Cats unable to get a good shot off there. But the Sun Devils, if they want to stay in this game, they have to kill off the power play. And to do that, they got to stay on their man.
Jackson, the Sun Devils are looking a little tired to me right now. Do you see that as well?
I do, and I think, partially that's an emotional drain. They just haven't been able to capitalize here.
Cusinelli with the puck. Sends it down low. Over to Marshall. Back to Jones, back to Cusinelli. They tried to get it back to Cusinelli, but it'll come back to Jones at the point. He'll send it down low. Stallhuth. Chris Westland. There's a shot to goal! A shot to goal! Ethan Stallhuth sends it right between the wickets.
Wow, what an excellent shot by Chris Westland there. That's a place you don't expect as a goaltender where he's going to shoot. You don't expect him to go 5-hole there.
I think that's Ethan Stallhuth's goal. We'll wait for the call there, but he just wheeled and threw it in, and that's one of those that Bronson Moore has to stop.
Yeah, I mean, with how well Bronson Moore's played tonight, just I talked about maybe the stick rattled him a little bit, but to leave him open like that, you know, that's a difficult thing to do.
.440 to go in the second period. Arizona with that all-important second goal on the power play.
Arizona Wildcat goal, give it to number 18, Ethan Stahlhoop. The assist goes to number 12, Chris Westland, and number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. Well, that's Stahlhoop from Westland and Cusinelli. Time of your Wildcat power play goal, 15 minutes, 12 seconds in the second period.
Charlie James laying some wood now. Ooh, Charlie James took a hit to the chops. He shoots, he scores. Stahlhoop with the second goal. Arizona really buzzing now, and ASU looking very mentally tired.
Yeah, you can tell by they're looking to make the big hits. You can see Charlie James is kind of getting bullied out there. You know, surprised there's no call on that. But he's toughing out in front of the net, but there's a lot of energy on both sides of the ice.
Oh, Charlie James just took a high stick there. He's down on his knees, but he's up. He's going to head to the bench. I think he's okay. Now, stick around, Cats fans, at the end of the second period. Jackson Peters is going to head down to ice level, and I think he's going to try to grab Charlie James to talk to him. He can talk as the lone senior on this Wildcat squad about this rivalry and what these games mean to him. And you can tell for both of these teams that these games just mean so much to both of these schools.
Yeah, especially for guys like Charlie James. You know, he's a senior. He's been around this rivalry. You know, it heats up over the years. But you can tell, even the freshmen, they're concentrated on bringing this rivalry, you know, the way they want it to go.
Play continues on now. 3 minutes to go in the second. Arizona with that all-important second goal and lead number 25, Arizona State, by a score now of 2-0. ASU has to try to kill this period now or get one back so this doesn't slip away from them. They're looking a little tired. They need something positive to happen for them. Arizona looking to put one of those nails in the coffin.
Yeah, for Arizona State, it'd be really difficult to, you know, come into the third period down by 2. You know, you haven't scored on the weekend yet. So to come back from a 2-goal deficit after not scoring yet on the weekend, it's a real difficult thing to do mentally.
Keelan Ulnick with the puck. As Jackson Peters now leaves to go down to ice level. That'll be on our Facebook page at the end of the second period. You can check out Jackson Peters and an Arizona Wildcat player. Then he'll rejoin us for the third period of play. 2:08 to go in the second period. Arizona now enjoying a 2-0 lead over Arizona State. Cats pick up the puck. You get the idea. The roof will come off this place. They can score a third goal here late in the second period. As we have a whistle, I think the Cats were offside. ASU playing a very steady, gutty game. Disciplined, well-coached team, but Arizona just seems to have that talent edge right now in this series. That doesn't mean that you're going to win the game, though. You got to put the puck in the net. Arizona's been able to do that, but it hasn't been easy at all against the Sun Devils. Cats come away with the puck now right in the slot. They get attempt to get a pass into Josh Larson down low, but it's intercepted. The Cats come, ASU comes back the other way. That's Calvin Klein. And there's a shot all teed up that was deflected wide. Another great opportunity for ASU. They have to be really frustrated at this point. As Justin Plumhoff goes back for the puck, sends it back to Ben Jones. One of the endless supply of talented freshmen. Arizona's going to have some talent for years to come here. And these freshmen are getting significant gameplay too. They're not just picking up a shift here and there. As there's a hit right at the blue line on Josh Larson. He loses the puck, and now we're down to the last minute of the second period. So important that the Cats do not give up a goal here in this last minute of the second period. Could change the complexion of this game completely. So we're down to the last 40 seconds. Arizona not able to get out of the zone yet. Kind of running around. Hull throws it around the other side to Trey Decker, and it does come out to center ice. Here's Josh Larson without a stick. He takes care of his player. Good job by Larson. Down to the last 20 seconds of the period. Cats come up over the line. Here's Stalyuth with it. Bad angle shot that ricochets off of Moore. 8 seconds to go. Ooh, nice deflected shot down low. There's another point-blank shot by Devin Langle there. And that'll do it for 2 periods of play. Cats almost add a third goal there at the end, but take a 2-0 lead over their arch rivals, the Arizona State University Sun Devils, after 2 periods of play. Wow, a really well-played period for Arizona.
Second period, Arizona State with 5, Arizona with 16.
So Arizona really pouring it on there with the pressure. 16 shots on goal in that second period to just 5 from Arizona State. Only 11 for the game so far for Arizona State and 24 for University of Arizona. And that dominance shows on the scoreboard as well, because the University of Arizona, ranked number 6th in the ACHA, enjoys a 2-0 lead over the Arizona State University Sun Devils. Now we'll be back in just a few minutes with the third period of play, but right now let's talk to the coaches and the players and look around the campus of Arizona. After 2 periods of play, as I said, Arizona with a 2-0 lead over Arizona State University. You are watching University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Wildcat Hockey regresa a Tucson y tú puedes ahorrarte hasta 20% en boletos con los nuevos paquetes de FlexPack.
Your Arizona Wildcats.
Un acceso de 6 a 12 juegos esta temporada de los Gatos. Boletos disponibles en Tucson Convention Center o llamando el 791-4101. Apoya a su equipo esta temporada con FlexPack. Para más información visite ArizonaWildcatHockey.org.
All right, welcome into the Sunday special. We are talking Arizona hockey. We're talking clawing their way back to the top. We've got senior Charlie James with me. And Charlie, first of all, welcome in.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
It's really nice to be down here in Tucson again, and it's nice to be talking about a team that you've seen over the last 4 years, have a few ups and downs, and now you're on the upside of it. 8-1-0. I got that right, Coach. 8-1-0. And you've had a week now to kind of get your bearings about it after being on the road for a little while. So first of all, talk a little bit about this season and where you guys are at.
We're obviously off to a really strong start here. Not having limited in practice kind of made things a little tough for us at the beginning, but we're really confident with what we have in the locker room. So we've been off to a good start, and we're confident with what we have going forward.
So you guys are off to a great start, as you mentioned, but let's talk a little bit about this season and how it's different from your past seasons here. What's been different? What's gotten you guys off to that great start?
I think our fourth line can carry as much weight as our first line, and that's what it's going to take to take us to the national championship. So I think that's our depth is the biggest factor that's been carrying us this far so far.
You guys have talked a lot about not only wanting to get to the tournament again, but to win the tournament, right? This is all about a winning tradition, about bringing Arizona hockey back on top.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about what it's going to take to get there.
It's going to take hard work every single day. We've got 30 guys that want to come to the locker room every single day to the rink and work hard every single day. And if we do that, it's going to, create competition within our own team, and that's what it's going to take to win, be competitive every single day.
Talk to me a little bit about Arizona hockey and what it really means to you. You decided to come here for a reason. What was that reason? What brought you to Arizona?
I've lived in Arizona my whole entire life. This is an amazing school with an amazing program, and I don't think there's anywhere else better to play in the ACHA. I think we have one of the best programs, and every opportunity you could want is here, so that's why I came. So
you get to play at home. Obviously, you've seen these fans growing up, right? Mm-hmm. You've had a chance to witness what it's like to play before a packed house. You've had a chance to see rivalry games with Arizona State and things like that.
Sure, absolutely.
So year by year, what's it been like for you?
Year by year, it gets better and better. As we get better, more fans want to come and watch a winning team. So every single year, the fans get more and more into it, and I think this year they're most excited, obviously, because we have a great team, and I think they're really excited for the home stretch we have here.
So when I say Arizona hockey climbing their way back to the top, I don't know if you remember the glory days of years ago, but you went through some lean times,
Sure,
and now you get
sure.
a chance to go. I know last year you had a chance to see that number 16 go up to the rafters. And
Yep.
how much would it mean to bring that national championship back here?
That's everything. That's what we come here every single day to do, is that we want that national championship, and if we don't get that, then in reality we don't have anything. So that's the only goal here, and that's what we want.
So as we talk Arizona hockey, we talk, and I hate to use the word club, Coach hates me to use the word club, but it's club hockey and it's dedication, right? I mean, you got to pay to be in this program.
100%, yep.
You got to be a student athlete.
Yep.
You got to do some bus rides. You got to do some plane rides. Give us a little perspective from a guy that's been here for 4 years, what that's been like to travel, to go through the ups and downs, to have broken down buses, to be in a bus accident. Give us a little bit of insight.
It's not easy. It's a lot of work. It takes up a lot of your time. But when you have 20 other guys in the locker room that want to win and want to be there with you, it makes it a whole lot easier. So, and that's definitely what we have this year. So it's a blast. No matter where we are, what we're doing, it's always fun to be with the guys, and that's why we have a winning culture.
So you just came off of a second week on the road where you played 3 games in 3 nights. What's that like as a player?
By game 3, it's not easy to walk. It's a lot of skating in a short amount of time, but we've got a deep team, so if we all just keep working hard, we can do it. We can grind out the weekends, and we can take the whole entire weekend home.
So let's talk a little bit more in depth about that. Tell me a little bit about what it's like. You ride the bus for 20 hours, whatever it is. You get to a hotel. Got homework to do, may have a test to take.
Sure.
What's that like as a student athlete hockey player?
We hop on the bus, we find as many movies as we can, we lay there for about 20 hours, and once we get there, we try, get our legs going, maybe go for a team stretch, a jog, something like that, to kind of recuperate ourselves, and we just try to get dialed in for the game. Obviously, if we have homework, we'll take care of that, we'll take our pregame naps, and then we just try to dial in for the night, try to forget about all the other factors like the bus ride, everything like that, the travel. We just want to focus on the task at hand.
So Charlie, tell me a little bit about what it's like game day. Okay, right? You guys you come down here. Let's talk about a home game. For example. You come down here. You know what you expect outside with the crowd. But what's your preparation like?
I like to get a pregame skate in the morning, and then I usually like to get a big meal in after that, and then I'll go home, take a nap, and then usually get to the rink about 2.5 hours early. Try and just settle in, think about the game, think about what I'm going to do. And then I kind of just like to keep it loose before the game. Just try to get a stretch in, maybe play some soccer with the boys, and then just focus on the task at hand and get ready for the task at hand at night.
And has that been pretty similar the full 4 years, or have you seen things tighten up and get a little different as you guys continue to get wins?
Personally, I've tried to do the same thing the same 4 years. I've always have, so that's pretty much stayed the same. But I know as a team, we're a lot more focused and dialed in every single day. So
I'm talking about clawing your way to the top. Tell the fans out there, the Arizona hockey fans, why they can expect to see you guys not only in the national tournament but challenging for that title.
We've got, like I said, we've got 30 guys in the locker room that just want to win, and that's what it's going to take for us to go all the way in the national tournament. And I believe that we have 30 guys that can do what it takes to win a national championship.
Charlie, appreciate your time. Good luck tonight, or good luck this weekend. When you're off, but you got the NHL alumni team coming in, right? Which will be a lot of fun.
I'm very excited for that.
Then the big series headed to Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, that's the big one.
Good luck then, and good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it.
We need you. We need you.
We need you to support Wildcat hockey.
The Wildcats are back in action, and it's time to show your U of A pride at the TCC Arena. Please call for tickets or come to the TCC box office. U of A hockey is affordable and fun for the entire family.
We need you.
We need you.
We need you to support U of A Wildcat hockey.
All right, we're back. We got defenseman Manny Rowe with me. First of all, Manny, I don't see the flow. I don't see the beer. What in the world is going on with Arizona hockey?
So the flow got chopped. It was too hot this summer, and I haven't scored yet, so the mustache also got chopped this last weekend.
I like that. Not that hockey players are superstitious, right? But it's always nice to visit you guys down here at the TCC, and we're doing a little feature called Clawing Your Way Back to the Top. Arizona hockey on the rise, and you guys start off 8-0 or 8-1 and
Yep.
almost got that wrong again. Coach is about ready to poke me. 8-1 and 0. What's it been like so far this season, and what's been different on the ice?
It's been awesome. I think our mentality isn't even let's get the 2 wins. It's all we know is a sweep. We're looking for the 3 wins on the road, at home. We're not settling for the 16th, 17th, 20th spot. We want to be in the top 10, top 5 now.
So you've been around a few years. You've seen some lean stuff. You've seen you guys get edged out of a national tournament. You
Yep.
guys get to a national tournament last year. I know the goal around here is not get there, but win it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So freshman year, it's still a little touchy subject, but we think we got snobbed for my freshman year. And then last year we did make it. We got 1 win against Missouri, and then we did get bounced against Minot. But now that majority of our team's juniors, we know what to expect, we know what we need, and we just need more. So that's the mentality we're bringing every day to practice and every game.
So climbing your way back up to the top, you know a little bit about the history of Arizona hockey. You retired to Jersey last year of Kelly Walker.
Yep.
And the tradition is here. The alumni is starting to get a little bit more involved. You play before a pretty large crowd almost every night.
A lot, yeah.
It's a neat environment for ACHA hockey, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's funny, whenever we go on the road, everyone's like, hockey in Arizona. And then if they would come out to the game, you would see 4,000, 3,000 fans a night when we have home games.
You know, and part of my itching under the skin has been the ranking system, right? I've been beating people up. I beat Coach up over it. He told me that he had no control over it. And my whole theory on it is as a player, does that bother you?
No. Not at all. We know our record. We know the other team's records. Everyone sees it. So you see a top team, you see Adrian, you see Minot, and they have a good record. They're great teams, and we do believe we're going to be up there, and we know it. So we don't think we're a 16 team. We think we're a top 5 team. So every time we go to play a game, that's what we have to play like.
So we talk about playing on the road, and for you guys, the road is somewhere you spend a lot of time recently.
Yeah.
So give me a little overview, a little recap, if you will, of what it's like to go on the road 2 weeks in a row, get your homework done, do all the things you have to do as a student athlete.
Yeah, the homework part is tough. I really don't like missing school, and we're missing Wednesday through Friday classes. So you're working on the bus, you're working on the airplane. You got to set aside time at the hotels. But come around lunchtime, you flip the switch and you got to start thinking hockey. So you have that lunch, you start gearing in, you listen to music, you kind of take one more step and get a little bit more serious and joking around. And you know, you have bus legs or airplane legs, you got to get rid of those. So you take warm-ups a little more serious, you play soccer a little bit more, and then you'll be ready to go.
You know, and I talked to your teammates as well about what it's like to play 3 games in 3 nights. Your style of play is pretty rough and tumble. You like to be physical.
Yeah.
What do you feel like after that 3rd game on a weekend like that?
I'm thinking ice bath right away. It's everyone's leaving with bruises. You're blocking shots. You're getting hit. Your arms are beat up. You're kind of walking Band-Aid after that 3rd game, but that's when you recap. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you kind of relax, light practice, and you get right back to it.
So what's changed, if anything, since the day that you put your first step on campus the first time you got
freshman year?
Yeah.
Freshman, all right. It's been a lot. We've been raised in the right direction from when I was a freshman and the seniors leading us into it and showing us the ropes. And each year, I think, with better leadership, that trickles down to players like Westy and Coos, Chuck and I. We've had 4 years of great leadership, and I think each year, as the expectations gets higher, so does the leadership. So now it's on our shoulders to keep wanting more, to get better, and to bring it every day.
So if you guys are climbing to the top and you get to the top, what's going to keep you at the top?
Heart, stride. You're not going to get complacent. I think that's a word that we use a lot, is you can't be okay with a 2-0 or 3-0 lead. It just can't happen when you're in that top 10, and that's what we're shooting for.
And let's talk a little bit about, let's look ahead to March, and let's say that you guys win this national championship. What are you going to tell recruits? What are you going to tell people who want to be University of Arizona hockey players?
We show them 1 ring, and then we show them I have 4 other fingers that they can be a part of. And I mean, no greater place to play at the TCC. It's great weather here. It's already shorts and a t-shirt, and it's almost winter time, so it's awesome.
Manny Rowe, thanks again for stepping in.
Yeah.
Next time I see you, though, I want to see that stash going. I want to see some goals coming.
Goals in Movember is on the agenda coming up soon.
I hear you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it.
Hello, Wildcat fans. I'm Chad Berman, head coach of Arizona Hockey. I'm inviting you out for our annual Pink the Rink event. You could buy one of these jerseys and put the name of any loved one you want on the back. All proceeds go directly to the University of Arizona Cancer Center. Help us put cancer in the penalty box.
Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona Hockey are now on sale. Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now.
Welcome back to University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey. I'm Timothy Gasson, joined by my broadcast partner Jackson Peters, as we get ready to bring you the third period of play between the number 6 Arizona Wildcats and the number 25 Arizona State University Sun Devils. After 2 periods of play, Arizona enjoying a 2-0 lead over Arizona State. And Jackson, the thing that struck me the most at the end of the second period was perhaps just how emotionally drained the Arizona State University squad looked at the end of that period. They've really put a lot into these last 5 periods of play, and they have nothing on the scoreboard to show for it.
Yeah, especially when you consider, we talked about it yesterday, they'll spend 8 hours busing back and forth to Tempe, back to Tucson. So, they're tired from the bus ride, but you're right, this is a different kind of tired. This is an emotional tiredness because you can tell these guys are frustrated. They're doing everything they can. They just cannot find the back of the twine. So I think they just need to come into this third period, a little more energy from them. Don't let the emotions take over and try to bury the puck. Keep doing what you're doing is what I would emphasize if I'm Tay Green.
Well, a challenge to be sure. Here come the Arizona Wildcats back on the ice. If you're Coach Berman, I think what you're preaching to your squad is we still haven't seen you play at your best in this game. You have a 2-0 lead, but don't let these guys back in the game.
Yeah, if we look at the past series that was played here at the TCC against Arkansas and Missouri State, I think that's some of the best hockey I've seen this Wildcat squad play, but I haven't seen that level of play here this weekend, and we know the Cats are capable of it. We've seen what they're capable of, and if you're Coach Berman, of course you're happy with the 2-goal lead, but I think you can expect a little more out of this team, especially with the speed and talent that they bring.
Well, and you don't want your players, you think that they're highly talented, to show off and create opportunities for the other squad. That's not what Coach Berman is looking for. But you're right, 2 weeks ago here against Missouri State and Arkansas, Arizona showed complete games. And I think perhaps Coach Berman will have challenged his team. Show me a complete period. They played better in the second period. Let's see how much the Sun Devils have left in their gas tank. They've played a very gritty weekend here for Arizona. But I have to say, when you only have a 2-game series instead of 3 games in a row, the quality of play for both of those games is better than when you have to play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. These teams should each have more in their gas tank because they didn't play that third game on Thursday night.
Yeah, and the players are aware of that. They know that they can spend a little more energy throughout both games because they don't have to save it for a third game. So they can leave everything out on the ice tonight, especially considering that they have a month of rest before their next game.
Boy, a full month off before we're back here January 4th and 5th at the Tucson Arena against Grand Canyon University. Congratulations to Grand Canyon. They've been granted admission into Division I of ACHA. They're currently a Division II team. So starting next season, they will be a Division I rival of the University of Arizona. Congratulations to Grand Canyon University. They'll be here January 4th and 5th here to start the second semester of play. And Jackson is just now on in the third period. It's difficult when your team is hot. You don't want to have a semester break. You wish you could go to the national tournament right then and there. Talk about the difference that the layoff can have on a hockey team.
Yeah, we saw it a little bit, leading up into this series. They had the Thanksgiving break, but that's just a little over 3 days. It's just a long weekend. But here, you get over a month off before your next game. There's no practices. Some of these guys, they might not touch the ice for a month. They go home. Maybe they don't have ice availability, in their hometown. So, it's really up to the players to stay focused and do their best to, pick up right where they left off coming off of the break. But, the best thing you can do to prepare yourself for that break is get a win here tonight.
Well, before we get there, we have a third period to play here with Arizona enjoying a 2-0 lead over the Sun Devils. Cats pick up the puck. That's Keelan Ulnick behind his own net. He steps out in front, sends it up past Ethan Stahlhuth, who has a goal here tonight. And the Cats send it back down into the Sun Devil zone and go for a break. Chris Westland tried to come up the near side wall with the puck, but he's blocked off of it. And in the plan for Arizona State, they want to score that first goal in this first 5 minutes and really inject some energy in on this bench. Both benches standing here to start this third period. This rivalry in front of this huge crowd here at the Tucson Arena. Anticipating more drama here in the third period.
And that drama you're talking about, Tim, in a rivalry like this, it's common to see a 2-goal lead just dissolve.
Yes.
So, the Cats have to realize that. We talk about that dangerous 2-goal lead, but I think it's especially dangerous because, in a rivalry game, things can change in an instant.
Well, and I'm going to agree with you yet again. I can't believe it, Jackson, about the 2-goal lead discussion, because like last night, this 2-goal lead doesn't seem like this insurmountable mountain for Arizona State. It just seems like a couple shots. And we've all been involved in hockey games where even a 1-goal lead, it looks like that's a mountain that can never be attained because the other team is just playing such good defense. But ASU is getting offensive chances in this game, and they did last night as well. They just haven't buried the puck.
Yeah, not only are they getting offensive chances, there's some really solid chances that they're getting. I mean, we saw a cross-ice one-timer, and Shuro was just able to stop it. I mean, Shuro has really been the story of this weekend. He's really bailed his team out in some scenarios.
Yes. Yep.
Because the Sun Devils have had some just excellent opportunities to score.
Well, and so you have to tip your hat to ASU because as there's a shot that bounces right off the chest of Bronson Moore from Dawson Marshall, the brother of Bailey Marshall, another one of the fabulous freshmen. The puck comes back into the Arizona zone. Keelan Ulnick picks it up there. He wheels with some speed around his own goaltender, but lost the puck. A little bit out of control there. Manny Rose settles it down behind his own goaltender. Anthony Shuro, when you look at the talent level of these two teams, there's more than just one player difference between these two teams, but it's Anthony Shuro who's been the difference.
Yeah, he's made so many excellent saves, and he's made a lot of big plays, especially, when his defensemen are kind of leaving him out to dry. So, I mean, I'm really impressed by Shuro's effort and his games this weekend. He's just played so excellently.
Oh, there's a shot and a goal. Anthony Cusinelli picked up the puck and just gave a quick wrister that beat Moore. That's an unexpected, that's like lightning striking right there. Jackson, I didn't see that one coming. There was no development to it whatsoever.
And I'll tell you what, Tim, that all started because an Arizona State player was looking for the big hit on the blue line. He was a defenseman, took himself out of the play, and allowed Cusinelli to have that nice scoring chance. Just left the lane wide open, and we've seen it time and time again. Cusinelli can score if you give him the lane.
Anthony Cusinelli, of course, the ACHA Rookie of the Year last year, and also the MVP of the Arizona Wildcats.
The Wildcat goal, give it to number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. That's Cusinelli, unassisted. Time of your Wildcat goal, 4 minutes, 11 seconds in the third period.
He shoots, he scores. Anthony Cusinelli really coming on in the second part of this first semester. Bailey Marshall was the story in the first part of the semester, and he scored very steadily, but Anthony Cusinelli is right back at that level that he had last year when he was the ACHA Rookie of the Year, WCHL Rookie of the Year, all WCHL team, and the Arizona MVP. He's right back at that incredibly high level.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while for him to see him to start heating up, but I think this weekend is just a display of the talent he still has, and he's developing on. I mean, he's a different role this year. He's the captain, a lot of pressure, but, I mean, he's really starting to heat up in the points column once again, and again, the Cats are going to go on the power play here.
There was an altercation on the far side boards. We'll wait for the call, but Arizona's going to come out with the man advantage.
Well, Levi Halston, 2 minutes for elbowing. Time of that penalty, 4 minutes, 25 seconds in the third period. And it gives your Wildcats a Hogan Transportation power play.
So Holston goes to the box for 2 minutes. And Arizona can really shut the door here with the power play goal early in this third period.
Yeah, that would really just destroy the emotional aspect of Arizona State's game. I mean, they still have a chance to get back into it, but 4 goals in 1 period after you haven't scored all weekend, that's almost going back to that insurmountable mountain you were talking about.
Where I want to go back to Anthony Cusinelli. As you said, the captain of the team as a sophomore, and he's growing into that role, and now his point production is coming back, and he's not afraid to shoot the puck instead of going for that perfect pass, because there was a chance where that puck was on his stick and he had just a moment of advantage to let that shot away where it would be a good shot. It was off his stick and in the net.
Yeah, and we saw that last year.
Yes, and there's another one off the stick and in the net. Arizona takes a 4-0 lead.
It looks like it's Cusinelli once again. looks like he just ripped it, and again, another fortunate bounce. Bronson Moore, he got a piece of it, but is able to hop over and just trickle in. An excellent shot by Cusinelli. You know, he put so much heat on it that Bronson Moore just couldn't control it.
Just as we were speaking, the puck gets to Cusinelli, and he lets that one rip, and it bounces up and over Moore. Now Moore has given up a couple of goals that he just can't give up in this kind of goal to give his team a chance. Again, it's so much like last night. It's not that he's played a poor game, and actually,
Get goal, and it's his second of the night for number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. That's Cusinelli unassisted. Time of your Wildcat power play goal. 5 minutes, 36 seconds in the third period.
he shoots, he scores. Anthony Cusinelli, just as we're singing his praises, pots a power play goal for the Arizona Wildcats. And now I think they can smell a little bit of blood in the water here as we have a delayed penalty against Arizona. Moore heads off, and ASU has the extra attacker on. Arizona, of course, has to touch the puck, which they do here. We'll have the whistle blown, and ASU goes on the power play. Now, if we were thinking about rough stuff starting to come into play with the 4-0 lead in the third period, how you stop that from happening is if Arizona's in the box. That should keep tempers at bay, at least for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, and even though Arizona State's down by 4, you know, getting the power play, it gives you something to, you know, hope for. You know, you still want to score. You know, even if you think you're out of it, you don't want to just give up on a power play.
So ASU on the power play, one-man advantage, down by 4 goals. Arizona has broken this game open in the third period with 2 goals by everything Anthony Cusinelli. Boy, Cusinelli and Marshall on that line with Stalyuth, that has to be one of the premier lines in all of ACHA hockey.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so talented together. And, you know, I know we had a little bit of concern at the beginning of the year with Bailey Marshall being a transfer, not a lot of time for those two to, you know, click. And, you know, sometimes with 2 talented guys on a team, you know, sometimes they're butting heads. But we didn't see that. It was an instant click between the two, just putting up points left and right. So it's excellent to see that they're still carrying that momentum.
Chris Westland, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of that penalty, 6 minutes, 29 seconds in the third period.
So Westland in the box for 2 minutes, and ASU's on the power play. The puck comes out to center ice. Still a lot of time left in this game, Jackson. 12:40 now to go in the game. Arizona with a commanding 4-0 lead, but the comeback can start here as puck comes down in on Moore. He is able to punch it out of the zone. That was a good play, but the Cats pick it up. Short-handed, come in short-handed. Oh, there's an Arizona player just manhandled down. There has to be a whistle and a call there. Good for the Arizona player to just skate away there. It looked like it was Max Meyer who was taken down.
Yeah, that's a real smart hockey play by Max Meyer to just, you know, take it thrown to the ice like that and just get up and walk away. You know, you don't need any of that silly stuff right now. You know, you'll go back to even, and then you'll get a 1 minute power play once the Wildcat gets out of the box.
Well, if they had a 2-minute minor for mugging, that's what I would have called there. But all the 2 minute, you know, whatever you call it, they're all 2-minute minors, and that will even things up for 51 seconds, and then Arizona will have a power play for 1:09.
Zach Kowalczyk, 2 minutes for hooking. Time of that penalty, 7 minutes, 38 seconds in the third period.
Hooking, mugging, all 2 minutes. So we'll skate even-handed for the next 35 seconds. Arizona now they need to be smart with the puck, and they are, as Keelan Ulnick comes up 1-on-2. Skating 4-on-4 for the next 17 seconds. Here's the puck on Ulnick. Oh, he just couldn't get that shot off fast enough. Great opportunity for Ulnick. So ASU comes back the other way. Durant Amaya tried to break through the slot, but he wasn't able to get a shot off. Now Justin Plumoff with the puck, comes off his stick. And now Jackson, keep an eye behind the play, behind the puck, because this is when funny stuff starts to happen in a 4-0 rivalry hockey game.
Yeah, for Arizona State, this is where the frustration will really start to show. I mean, unable to score through, almost 6 periods here.
Arizona breaks in. Ethan Stallings with a backhander. Nice save. Puck is loose, though. Cats on the power play. Now we have the whistle. And we're going to have a penalty. A Cat's going to go off. This looks like Ethan Stallings. He can't believe it. They're calling this a slash. They're calling...
And I'm not sure, I didn't see it either, Tim, but I did see one of the Arizona State players lose his stick, threw up his hands, asking the ref, where's the call? So I'm wondering if maybe Stallings slashed one of the Arizona State player's sticks out of his hands.
Yeah, I think that's the call. So much for the power play. We'll skate even-handed for 28 seconds.
18, Ethan Stallhuth, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 9 minutes, 9 seconds in the third period.
Ooh, there's a shot that Anthony Shuro fought off. It went up and over the goal. Now up the near side. ASU comes away with it dangerously through the slot, but Bradley Budman lost control of the puck. Now ASU on a power play for the next 128. And the U of A chant starts up again. This huge crowd here at the Tucson Arena. Anyone who doubts hockey in the state of Arizona, University of Arizona has a 41-year tradition of packing fans. As Chris Westland takes a shot that just goes wide, of packing fans in this 6,700-seat arena here in Tucson, Arizona. I've seen the Arizona Wildcats defeat ranked Division I NCAA teams. I've seen them beat defending national champions. And I've seen thousands of fans here at the Tucson Arena support their hometown hockey team, their Arizona Wildcats.
And we can see the hitting starting to pick up. Surprisingly, it's the Wildcats starting to put on the big hits. They don't want any silly stuff coming from Arizona State, so they're kind of, looks like, trying to put them in their place and make sure that they know they won't be putting up with any silly stuff after the whistle.
Well, we're more than halfway home here in the third period, 9:29 to go in the game. And part of this, I have to believe, Jackson, is the attitude of you want to make sure that ASU has no life left in them. That it's kind of like, your rival is like a vampire that always comes back to life. And you want to get that stake in them as far as you can. Anthony Shuro fights off another shot. Only 18 seconds to go in the power play. The Cats come up with the puck, and they're going to head up 2-on-1. That's Bailey Marshall. Gets to the middle of the ice. Oh, but he loses his edge there. You're going to have a tripping call, perhaps, on this? I didn't see anyone near. No, we got a hooking call. I don't think I actually saw an ASU player near Bailey Marshall there.
No, it looked like an ASU player kind of got his stick on Marshall, and then he kind of just lost his footing. It was more of a result of Marshall trying to avoid the Arizona State player than actually getting touched by the Arizona player. But regardless, it's still 2. And the Cats will be on the power play in 5 seconds once their penalty expires.
Yeah, that was a bit of a phantom penalty there, I think, Marshall. But we had a very different angle on what that looked like compared to a referee on the ice.
Zach Kowalczyk, 2 minutes for hooking. Time of that penalty, 11 minutes, 5 seconds in the third period. And your Wildcats are on the Hogan Transportation Power Play.
From the angle that I think the referee was on the ice and saw that as a cause and effect. And I think from our angle, you can see that perhaps the ASU player really didn't affect the player like that.
Yeah, he did get his stick on him a little bit, but not enough to the result that Bailey Marshall had. He tripped himself up.
Cats on the power play for the next minute 29. Puck goes wide, goes up to Anthony Cusinelli looking for his hat trick. Cusinelli into the circle. Ooh, sends it wide but doesn't connect with Bailey Marshall. Ben Jones will now dish it down low to Chris Westland. Back behind the net to Bailey Marshall. That's with a lot of puck possession here, but without a shot. Here's Marshall now cruising through the slot. Puck goes off the side of the net, off of Ethan Stalyuth's stick. There's a quick shot, kicked aside by Moore. And another shot off the outside of the net. That gets fans excited because they see the net move. That was the outside of the net. Back to Anthony Cusinelli at the blue line. Cusinelli sends it to the circle, and in and wide. The Cats keep it in. They can. Bailey Marshall now. 30 seconds to go. This ASU team looks really tired. So there's a really nice glove save there by Bronson Moore.
And wow, Tim, that was such a good power play work by the Wildcats, even though Arizona State is a little tired. You know, the system that the Wildcats were running there, they were cycling the puck so well, moving it across ice, finding the right lanes. You know, if that's the kind of power play they can execute every time, you know, they could have one of the most dangerous power plays in the ACHA.
ASU looking very frustrated now as Jake Geely goes in for the faceoff. Puck comes down to Anthony Shuro. 7:16 to go in the game. Now we really got to see if some funny stuff starts to happen between these two teams. Game looks out of reach. The puck dribbles in on Moore and he falls on it there. 7:04 to go in the game. Arizona, number 6 in the nation. Boy, they might climb up a spot or two after this. Jackson, you know, we talk about how the strength of schedule has helped ASU so much, even with the losing record being in the top 25. Well, guess what? They're in the top 25, so these wins really help Arizona.
Yeah, they do. Anytime you can defeat a ranked team, it just really helps no matter what spot you're in.
Nice kick save there by Moore. He's hung in this game, gave up a couple goals. Another point-blank shot on Moore, held his ground. For ASU now it becomes, they don't want to have made this trip to Tucson twice now in 2 days and come out with goose eggs.
Yeah, you know, they really want to at least get one goal on the board, you know, feel like they did something when they came to Tucson. Because, you know, if you end up not scoring through the weekend, you know, that really hurts your momentum. And then, like I said before, that's what you're dwelling on for the next month on break.
Yeah, the game playing for this Arizona State team has been good. The effort has been very good. The discipline has been great. They've had scoring opportunities, but boy, they have run into a buzzsaw of a goaltender in Anthony Shuro.
Yeah, Anthony Shuro, you know, he's really the story of this week, and he's played so excellently. You know, he stopped every save, and, you know, even when something's happened, you know, scrums in front of the net, he just stays so calm.
Wraparound attempt by Arizona goes wide. Charlie James with a rare shot. Charlie James doesn't get a lot of offensive opportunities, but that was a good shot on goal, handled by Moore. Now we got some hitting on the far side boards. Always keep an eye behind the play now as we go into the last 5.5 minutes of the game. There's Dawson Marshall kind of thrown to the ice, no call. And we continue on. This crowd now anticipating some hitting or some funny stuff as we head down to the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, this is the point in the rivalry where you usually expect stuff like that to happen, and I think the crowd is anticipating it.
I can't imagine the Sun Devils going quietly here in the last 5 minutes, even if they're held scoreless again. You know, hockey teams have a lot of pride in these rivalry games, especially. If Arizona holds on here, this will be their 4th straight win this year against Arizona State. They would need just one more win to secure the Cactus Cup for another season. What a wonderful feeling that must be for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, after winning it last year, you know, they possess it right now, but being able to hold on to it and being in such a good opportunity, that's a huge momentum boost.
There's a nice feed through and another shot that goes wide. 2 great opportunities for Arizona, skilled opportunities, but neither one ends up in the net. down to the last 4:15 of the game, and ASU looks like they are out of gas.
Yeah, I mean, both emotionally and physically, this team's really starting to look like, they're just simply worn out.
A friendly greeting goes up from the Arizona Wildcat faithful here in Tucson, Arizona. There is nothing better than beating your rival. And if you're an Arizona hockey man like I am, there is no feeling quite like beating Arizona State University. And the Cats have a 4-0 lead now with 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Last game of the semester. Josh Larson is going to go to the box here, and I don't know quite why. He pushed an Arizona State player down. Now he's trying to bait the ASU player to come with him, but...
Tim, I think that's just an effort by the referee to, try and keep the silly stuff down. If they stop it early, it's hard for it to escalate into more.
I kind of like, if that is Alexander Demon, who was a scratch last night, number 14, I kind of like the fact that Josh Larson tried to get him to retaliate and maybe go to the box with him. He just kind of skated away. He said, go to the box, I'm going to the bench. So I kind of like that discipline that, I don't know if Larson did anything egregious, but he wasn't going to take the bait about doing anything else to go to the box too.
Yeah, and that just shows the discipline of Take Green squad.
Boy, there's a hard shot off of Shuro. Another good play down low as ASU wants to break this donut on the scoreboard they had last night and tonight. 1.5 minutes to go in the power play for Arizona State. Perhaps this is the last great challenge for Arizona. So we got more stuff going on behind the play. The players, Manny Rowe really battling in front of Anthony Shuro now. This is going to turn into something, I guarantee you, as the puck goes out of play. This is Tim Hoffenkamp, another young player for Arizona State University who's played really well in these games for Arizona State. He certainly, as a young player for ASU, has taken this rivalry very seriously. He was really battling down low with Manny Rowe.
Yeah, and I mean, Manny Rowe's a pretty big kid. You see pictures of him. He's got that big mustache going. He's not one of those guys you want to start tussling with in front of the net. So that shows a lot of, pride in your team from Tim Hoffenkamp. And, so late in this game, you're essentially out of it. To have that kind of determination to still battle in front of the net shows a lot about this Arizona State squad.
ASU still trying to score, get that donut off the scoreboard, but Anthony Shuro flashes out a right pad, kicks it into the near side corner. ASU's able to keep it in the zone, however. You got to credit these Sun Devils for keeping their minds in this game. Now all of these scrums become so much more focused and magnified. Just 2 minutes to go in the game. 38 seconds to go on the power play. Nice defensive stick there by Arizona, but they don't clear the puck.
And there's a big, I saw that one. Tim finally caught one behind the play. I believe that was Yager Larson that dragged that Wildcat to the ice by the head. So that's a good call there. Glad the referee caught that.
So Jackson Peters will head on down to center ice. Stick around, Wildcat fans, immediately after the game. Jackson will talk to the player of the game and head coach Chad Berman as Matthew Hull heads off to the box for Arizona. I believe Sun Devil as well. Just 1:51 to go in the game. Arizona with a seemingly insurmountable 4-0 lead over the Arizona State University Sun Devils. Now this will be fascinating to see if ASU drops out of the top 25, because with the strength of schedule, losing 2 games to number 6 Arizona, it might actually help them.
Yager Larson, 2 minutes for slashing. Wildcat penalty on number 13, Matthew Hull, 2 minutes for slashing. Both penalties at 18 minutes, 9 seconds in the third period.
13 seconds to go on the power play for Arizona State. Anthony Shiro fights off another one, and there's a goal. If not, is that a goal? No goal, no goal, no goal! Boy, I thought that went behind Shiro. No, it went off the post. Clearly off the post, no goal. ASU, this must be the ultimate frustration. Unable to score last night. Now just a minute and a half to go in this game, down 4-0. Unable to score tonight. Goal, you know, the posts are the goaltender's best friends. And Anthony used all of his friends there behind him. He goes and taps that post with his hand there after that, thanking his good buddy, the post, who made that save for him. That's a wonderful moment there for Anthony Shiro. The power play is now over for Arizona State. Just a minute 20 to go in the game. Let's hope that no silly stuff now happens between these two squads. Big crowd here at Tucson Arena. They want to cheer their Wildcats defeating the arch rival Arizona State University Sun Devils. I've enjoyed this for more than 3 decades, and there is nothing like sending the Arizona State University Sun Devils home as losers in a game here in Tucson. What a magical first semester for the Arizona Wildcats. We're down to the last 38 seconds. And remember, after our on-ice interviews, we'll head back here to the press box and I'll give a quick summary of tonight's game. And then head over to our Facebook page where we'll have the post-game press conference with head coach Chad Berman. "15 seconds to go in the game here. Players separate. I don't think anything's going to happen here, and that's a really good sign. Well-coached Arizona State University squad. Well-coached University of Arizona squad. Well-coached Arizona State University squad. 2 well-coached squads here that I think are going to control themselves. This rivalry can get out of hand. But you see, there's nothing in a hockey sense to be accomplished from any of that stuff now. And that's what I appreciate about Arizona State. They know there's nothing to accomplish with any of that stuff here. Down to the last 10 seconds of the game. Arizona with a 4-0 lead over Arizona State. 3, 2, 1. Arizona sweeps Arizona State. Arizona sweeps Arizona State. 4-0. It was 3-0 last night, 4-0 tonight, and look at the bench. Look at the bench celebrate with Anthony Shiro. 2 straight shutouts of the Arizona State University Sun Devils.
Arizona State with 8, Arizona with 13 for the game. The Sun Devils with 19 shots on goal. The Wildcats with 36 shots on goal. The final score here.
So 13 shots on goal for Arizona in that third period, 8 for Arizona State. 2 straight shutouts for the Arizona Wildcats against their arch rivals, Arizona State. We'll see if Arizona rises 1 or 2 more spots now in the top 25 for the ACHA. They're currently number 6, their highest ranking in a generation. And we'll see how the Sun Devils respond to this in the second semester of play. If they lose just 1 more game to Arizona, they will have lost the Cactus Cup for a 2nd straight season. A magical semester. We'll head on down to ice level now for Jackson Peters. He's going to talk to head coach Chad Berman and the player of the game. But once again, our final, Arizona 4, Arizona State nothing. I'm Timothy Gasson, and I'll be back with you in just a couple minutes.
Hi, I'm Jackson Peters, and I'm joined here by captain of your Arizona Wildcats, Anthony Cusinelli. Anthony, you had 2 tonight. I mean, of course, it's a big win. 2 straight shutouts against this team. How does it feel not only to get 2 goals against your arch rival, but to sweep them on the weekend with 2 shutouts?
Yeah, I thought it was a good team win. And how about Anthony Churro? Geez, hell of a game by Churro. I thought our whole team battled. Churro definitely kept us alive. Hats off to him, but I'm proud of how he played this weekend.
Well, congrats on the win, Cusinelli. Good luck with the rest of your season, and have a good time on your break.
Thank you.
And now I'm joined here by head coach of your University of Arizona Wildcats, head coach Chad Berman. Now, Coach, you talked a little bit last night how you wanted to see a little more energy from your squad tonight through the whole game. Were you a little more pleased with your team's performance tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I thought we had a way better compete level. I mean, it's kind of nice now. I'm officially at Christmas break, so I can take a second to say, boy, we're 6th in the country. A lot of good things going on. I couldn't be more proud of my guys, how we're battling. And what a crowd tonight. Thanks for coming out. We're trying to go after the first conference championship in the history of the school for the WCHL. And so we're going to need you guys down the stretch. UCL's coming into town. That's going to be for the conference title. So make sure you come out for UCL. We're going to need you.
And you talk about UCO. With the win here tonight, you tie them for first place in the WCHL standings. What are you guys going to have to do in the second semester, after this month-long break to, win that first place spot in the WCHL standings?
I think in the season, it's every week you're layering on new concepts and things you want to tighten up. So we want to continue to build on what we're building on. We've been fortunate to be pretty healthy for the most part, but obviously, we lost Plum early in the season, and getting him back really lines up our depth at center, and it's a real force for us. So right now, we're just going to enjoy tonight, enjoy the break, and hopefully go out and celebrate with all these fine people in Tucson.
Well, congrats on the win, Coach. We really appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of the season. Now, for those of you joining us on our YouTube broadcast, we'll send it back to the booth with Tim Gasson. For those of you in the building, we hope you enjoy your winter break. Thanks for joining us as the Cats sweep the Arizona State University Sun Devils on the weekend. Thank you. Good night.
Wow, what a weekend for University of Arizona Wildcat hockey. 2 games against arch rival Arizona State, 2 big wins, 3-0 last night, 4-0 tonight. What can you say about Arizona goaltender Anthony Churro? 2 straight shutouts against arch rival number 25 Arizona State. Arizona now number 6 in the nation, but there should be one more ranking period before we have our semester break. I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona moves up a spot or 2 in those rankings, but this is the highest ranking that Arizona hockey has had in a generation. Number 6 in the nation. They're now 16 and 3 on the season. Arizona State drops to 7 and 17. Arizona needs to just win one more game against Arizona State to secure the Cactus Cup for one more season. So it's a full month off now for the University of Arizona Wildcats. We'll see how quickly they can regain their touch, because January 4th and 5th here at the Tucson Arena, Arizona will host Grand Canyon University. That's Grand Canyon to start the second semester play here at the Tucson Arena. After decades of being involved with the University of Arizona hockey, I cannot tell you the joy that there is in Wildcat Nation when you can defeat the Arizona State University Sun Devils. They played very well in these 2 games. A very scrappy squad, a very well-coached squad. They were not able to dent the twine and score any goals here. That's got to be very frustrating. It'll be interesting to see how they respond in the second semester. For Arizona, they're flying high. They go into the break with one of their best semesters in recent memory. We'll see if they can get that momentum back and continue as we head towards the national tournament in the second semester. So we wish you from Arizona hockey to all those in Wildcat Nation and all around the ACHA a great holiday. I hope you are safe and happy, and we hope to see you after the new year here at Tucson Arena. So for everyone here at University of Arizona Hockey Media, I'm Timothy Gasson for my broadcast partner, Jackson Peters. Good night. Arizona 4, Arizona State University nothing. You have been watching University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey.
Thank you for watching University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey. Visit our website at arizonawildcathockey.org, and we'll see you at the Tucson Arena for the next Arizona Wildcats home game.